roads, twisting hard where the shadows lie. Grip the handle, feel the engines roar. Freedom ain't a dream, it's the open door. Ride the storm, feel the thunder break. Cut the change and let the...
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Daytona International Speedway. This is going to be a wild one here this evening for the NASRA Fun Run Florida Cabinet Distributors Endurance Race. You're going to see it all live here on the NASRA 360 Racing Network. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Keep up with everything going on with NASRA. Good evening, folks. I'm the redneck announcer, Jake Reeves. Wesley Outlaw will be joining me in the booth, as well as the Australia Dean Upton Biggles on production here this evening. You see drivers working their way through the little kink back there, the bus stop, if you will, back there on the back chute, working their way around to get ready to get it going here tonight. 2.5 hours on the time limit, and this is going to be an absolute banger of a race. And see if we can get our race, or at least our starting lineup up as real quick. They are going through turn 3 and 4, getting ready to get this bad boy going. Starting on the pole, MDW, Matthew David Woodward, Randy Nichols in P2, Jackson Wade, Roger Diebold, Luke Smith, Kermit the Frog, Buzzy Mongold, Adam Newton, Cody Knott, Adam Lichty, Shane Scott, and Joshua Suss, the man that put all this together here on a Wednesday night. He's going to be tailing caboose out of all this, see what happens. But here we go, 2.5 hours, survive and win you some money. Green flag is in the air. The Florida Cabinet Distributors Endurance Race is underway as they work their way into turn number 1. Check out oh baby, we got rain. We got wet. We have some wet spots out here on the track, Dave. This is going to get good, baby.
Yeah, this is real racing, of course. Now you've got to deal with the track conditions as well as, you know, just the cold temperatures. It's all happening. You can see it's quite dark here in Daytona at the moment there, Jacob and Wesley. So it's going to be very, very interesting. But remember, it's an endurance race, so you don't want to just chuck it all away in the first couple of laps here. You've got a long way to go.
Well, hell, you can't chuck it in there right up there on the first lap. You see all that rain and that wet spots out there and everything else. You really can't chuck it in there on lap 1. You got to be able to try to save it. As hell, we already see it. Some drivers are already chucking it in there already. Sliding through there. Randy Nichols, 69, straight up into the wall. And now they're going to start to work their way to try to get up on the banking to go through 1 and 2, then hit the bus stop 3 and 4, and so on here at Daytona. Wesley, buddy, this is a little bit different than what you and Dean usually call on the Wednesday night series.
Oh, wow.
Whoa.
Whoa, Wesley, you sound very robotic.
Wesley is robotic.
Yes.
He is Mr. Roboto, Dean.
Yes, sir. I think he's going to sort that out at the moment there, Jacob. We might have to.
Okay, we'll see. We'll see what happens on that one. Bada bato, Mr. Roboto. I guess, what is that, Sticks, I guess, Dean? Whoever the band was that made that one up. But you see, check this out right here, Dean. You got this right here up on the graphic. You saw the wet spots, all that stuff that was going on. You got, what, 11 drivers out here, 10 of them on dry tires. You got 1 driver on wets. Yep. Joshua Suss, who started at the back, he's the smart one out of everybody. He decided, you know what? I'm going to take my chances on the wet tires. As you see them right here, check them out, hitting those slick spots, back ends coming around, and all kinds of other things as well. And they got fast repairs if they got to burn them and everything else. But boy, I'm telling you, you got to be careful. Check it out. Oh, Joshua Suss overdriving it, baby. He's using them wet tires going through the corners.
Yeah, exactly. That's the thing, too. When the track is wet, it's very, very, very difficult to drive on. And Joshua Suss got a smile on his face because he knows he's chose the right tire at the moment. He can just gingerly slice and dice his way through the field if he can keep it on the track, of course. But then again, look at this. He is under attack at the moment there from Shane Scott, it looks like, as well, too. So Joshua's just got to hang in here at the moment and just see how if the track starts drying up a little bit too much, he will be a sitting target.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. I mean, he set it in there going into that corner, kind of dive bombed Cody Knott. Now he's going to end up paying for it. Hell, he's going way off the track, hitting the water spouts. And now Cody Knott going to be right there as well. All of that for nothing, Dean.
Yeah.
All of that for nothing. Dove Bobbitt going into the corner, shot around 3 of them like they were sitting still, and then absolutely just straight up kills it right there going through the rest of the infield here at the virtual Daytona International Speedway. It just goes all the way straight back to last. He's on wet tires. Hell, you figure those would be better than the dry tires with the conditions we're having.
Yeah, I know, but there's probably just not enough on the surface as you could see at the moment. I thought it might have been, but you can see there's only a little bit of spray in certain parts of the track. And, well, because, a lot of this is, semi-roval road course, so there's not that many turns, really, at the end of the day that you have to kind of get it all stuck on. And no super high-speed exits, per se, where there is some slicing through some S's and stuff like that, which is the dangerous part, which is after turn 1. So it probably hasn't paid off for him just yet, unless, of course, there is rain in the forecast, and then he's going to be okay. But you see where that only little bit of splash is there, those puddles? It's not enough for him to really gain an advantage at this point.
Yeah, I mean, and obviously Joshua Suss had it out there in the announcements here for the Wednesday night series. This is usually when the NASRA Cup series usually runs. Oh no! Adam Newton spinning sideways, dirt tracking it, not the way you want to do it. Adam Newton sideways parks it, has to let everybody try to slide by him. And the 10 of Adam Newton, the Bulldog, having to let a couple by. I mean, still slick back here. I mean, but he was able to gather it back and keep on going. He didn't hit nothing, which is fantastic for him. Because, I mean, usually when it's wet conditions like this, they hit the grass, Dean. It's bad news. Because, man, it's literally like hitting ice. It's like hitting one of them big old puddles. You just hit one of them, and then it's game over. We'll check it out one more time on a Punch Poppers instant replay. You see the Bulldog, Adam Newton. I mean, he looks like he was okay. Honestly, I mean, he looked like he was fine going in the corner. He was fine hitting the brakes. He was fine turning into the corner. And then something just happened, and all of a sudden the back end just said, it ain't playing today. Spun it around, went over there in the grass. He's able to fire back off, though, Dean.
Yeah. That's the thing. This is also the thing about endurance races. As long as you can, you will lose some time and a bit of a spin, but you don't want to do too much damage, even though they've got some fast repairs. As you can see, an overtake here from Buzzy, and it looks like on Adam, and it will.
Can y'all hear me now?
Yes, kind of there. Wes? Kind of.
Is it working better now? Is it working?
Sounds like you're like a little echo-ish.
Why?
He's better than what he was, Dean.
It was better than the robotic. Yes.
I wonder what the heck's causing that. Hello, testing.
Yep.
Testing.
Just wondering if it's picking up on if it's picking up on another mic that you have on your computer or something rather than your headset mic.
What about that? Is that any better? Hello?
It's a little bit better on my
A little bit
end.
better.
Yeah. I'll say this real quick while they're sorting that out. Dean, look at Buzzy right here. You got the real cam on the bottom right. Look at his hair floating around and everything. I don't know if that's a fan or if that is just how fast he is flying right here. Yeah, to see, he had to fix his hair. He had to fix his hair. Like, I guess he knows that we're talking about his hair and everything. And drinking a swig of it. Oh, my God. You got to be kidding me.
It's taking a hold swig. My beer turn. There you go, Jacob.
Yeah, hold my beer turn. Yeah. Well, I'll tell you what. He needs to try it right here going through the bus stop. I bet you right now we're going to have to get with him before this race is over with. He is going to have to try that, go through that bus stop one-handed with the track conditions that we got. We got to make it a little bit exciting right here, Dean.
Oh, of course. Yeah, we do. We don't have a fully stacked grid, unfortunately. I think a lot of drivers are a little scared to turn left and right there, Jacob. Of course, this is just a fun little event that we're having here this evening. A fun race, endurance race. Here's Roger Diebold on Kermit the Frog up the road.
Yeah, I mean, right there in front of him, obviously, Kermit the Frog. And Jackson Wade trying to run down MDW. Jackson Wade, one of the drivers in the NASRA Cup Series that races here on Wednesday nights. So Jackson trying to run down MDW, and Wood obviously very strong. Adam Lichty, he's spot out right here in the entrance of turn one. Oh, baby, had to back up. Shane Scott could have T-boned him right there, but did not. So Adam Lichty got the gas up and try to carry back on. We'll check it out one more time on another Punch Poppers instant replay.
Oh,
Damn, he just sent that sucker, locked it up, tried to get it back going, hit the wet spots, and spun her around.
Yep. But that was good avoidance, you'd have to say. I mean, he's had a spin on his own by doing that, but things could have been a lot worse. It could have been straight in the back there, I think, of Newton or whoever else it was battling with. So it is best to be said that he's kept it in one piece and just a little bit of nothing like a semi-spin on a changing conditions track like that. I mean, that's perfectly fine. The best drivers in the world will do that.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. I mean, just anybody would. I mean, these are wet spots out here on the track. These guys going over 120, 30, especially right here in the bank corners at Daytona, upwards of around 150, 160, maybe even 170 miles an hour, depending on the vehicle that they're in. Because, I mean, you got BMWs, you got Mercedes-Benz, you got some Ferraris, I think it is, a Lamborghini, and bad as I got to say it, there's a Corvette right there in the middle of it, which, granted, Luke Smith, Kermit the Frog, running the Corvette, at least from what it looks like on the emblem, he's showing out for the Chevys. Yeah, I mean, Dean, I'm a Chevy man. I love Chevys. Now, I love Fords, but I also love Chevys as well. I drive a Chevy personally. Joshua Sust, he is absolutely poo-pooing in the kitty litter box right now for the Chevy deals because he is way back there in 11. Kermit the Frog's the only one trying to show up for the Chevy guys.
Yeah, exactly. I'm just trying to fix some stuff in the background here because we don't usually use these graphic overlays. Of course, this is a special event. We usually have a completely different overlay, which, as you know, is NASCAR themed for the NASRA 360 Racing Network, my friend. So it's just interesting. I'm used to this for other racing leagues, of course, but we have to customize it so it's specific for our league. So just bear with me on that one there.
Yeah, I mean, you good, buddy. I mean, obviously, it's still some good stuff. I mean, still, honestly, I will say this, and I don't mean to make you blush or anything like that, Dean, but you are the best in the business. I don't care what anybody says, which they ain't nobody said anything bad. I mean, nobody said anything bad about you, but you are the best in the business. You are the best producer in the business, and I guarantee you right now, anything that you put your mind to, it's going to look fantastic. So just want to give you props on that. Don't get blushy. Don't start getting red on me and everything else. Don't do that. Don't start getting blushy. You're gonna make me cry and everything. Don't do that.
Well, thank you very much, my friend. But we strive to get better, I always say, because there are some fantastic producers out there, and I'm envy of them, and I want to get always better. I always think there's room for improvement, as they say, and working on it.
Absolutely. As you see the battle for second going on your screen, from what we're seeing right here, Luke Smith trying to actually, now this is the battle for third. Actually, Luke Smith and Roger Diebold right here going for the third spot. As we are 11 minutes into a 2.5-hour race, lap 7, and pretty good little race right here that we got going on for P3 is they're mixing it up. Dean, you were actually we were talking about this in the green room of, just like you said a while ago, it's not a stacked field, it's 11 cars, but at the same time, we got guys out here that is actually very, very close to one another. I mean, you got Smith and Diebold, and then you flip-flop back. You got Nichols and Newton's right there with him. Buzzy Mongo right there smack dab in the middle of that battle as well. So there is battles on the racetrack for us to actually call. The only bad part you don't want is somebody to blow the quarter 9 ways to Sunday, take all 3 of them. Well, hell, if they take all 3 of them out, then odds are they're all going to be stuck together anyway, so it doesn't matter. But there is battles going on throughout this racetrack.
Absolutely. Just having a look at the temperature, the weather conditions as well, too, as we'll pop that up at the moment. So it's I'm sorry, it's all in Celsius and stuff as well, too, so I don't really confuse you guys. Once again, because it's used to a European league where they work on kilometers per hour and Celsius, but that's the wind speed, actually, for 16 kilometers an hour.
That's all right, we'll Google
19 Celsius, you can work on it. Yeah, MVW's got himself another fastest lap there, so it's about 6 seconds up the road, but it's cooler conditions, put it that way. Whatever you can do your math out there and chuck that in your calculator and convert 19 Celsius to Fahrenheit.
Yeah, I mean, we'll figure it out. I mean, that's what Google's for, Dean. Google is usually something that could really help us out one way or another. MDW leads, Jackson Wade second. You see the battle on your screen for P3. There's Wood right there driving a BMW, looking old school, rolling around through here. He's got a whole 1 on the side of that bad boy, and that's exactly what it means. He is P1 so far here this evening. 8 laps in, 13 minutes into the 2.5-hour Florida Cabinet Distributors endurance race. We're going to go side by side, rest of the breast. We got a long one here tonight at Daytona, folks. Sit back, hear from some of our great sponsors, and we'll be right back.
Craftsmanship that lasts a lifetime is Florida Cabinet Distributors. With over 20 years in business and 39 years of woodmaking experience, they proudly serve Northeast Florida to Southeast Georgia, delivering custom woodwork that combines precision, beauty, and durability. Whether you're dreaming of a custom kitchen, bathroom vanity, fireplace and mantel, entertainment center, outdoor kitchen, or even a full library, we can build it at Florida Cabinet Distributors, exactly the way that you envision. Hey, no project is too big or too small. If it's made of wood, Florida Cabinet Distributors can make it. Call or text Steve today. Yes, they gave us his personal cell number, 904-874-3442. That's 904-874-3442 to book today. Florida Cabinet Distributors, craftsmanship that lasts a lifetime.
And we're back here at Daytona. Something might have happened, maybe not. Post Pumpers Instant Replay. Thought about it there for a second. Post Pumpers a great sponsor here with here with the NASRA 360 Racing Network. Obviously, Post Pumpers fantastic. A lot of great sponsors. You'll see them all up there at the top right of your screen here tonight. Obviously, 49 North Collisions. You got A's Lawn Landscaping. I mean, so many great sponsors in this league that are big. Hey, Dean, I want to go ahead and throw this out there real quick. As MDW has got about an 8-second lead over Jackson Wade right now, kind of running away with it very early on, but still plenty of time. He can still screw it up. But I did want to mention something real quick. Dean, me and you, we were talking about this earlier today, is that I'm actually getting ready to start up a little channel, which is going to be pretty cool. Maybe it'll produce, maybe it'll be good stuff and everything else. But I'm fixing to get a channel started up where I'm going to be doing some more broadcasting on my own. Broadcasting gameplay on like PlayStations and all kinds of other cool stuff. So everybody stay tuned for later on details on that one. Dean, you got to send me a little graphic that I'm going to have to try to check out, and I'm going to have to try to figure out how the hell to put it on there. But I'll figure it out one way or another.
Oh, this one?
Yeah, that one right there. Yeah, well, I did. Well, I was kind of wanting that to be a secret. Anyway.
Oh, that. Well,
you just got to
what graphic? There was nothing
you
there.
kind of blew it.
Nothing there.
You blew it. Oh, baby, battle's still on for P3 right here on your screen. Actually, that is P5, excuse me. That is Diebold and Newton battle on your screen. And Buzzy Mongold, who was right smack dab in the thick of it a while ago, something happened to him. Maybe the wind got caught up in his hair a little bit too much and might have got him knocked around and got him sideways. But Diebold in a Lamborghini trying to hold off Adam Newton the best way that he possibly can. And Lamborghini kind of showing out a little bit here tonight. As now you see Adam Lichty once again in the 9, getting a little sideways and spinning around a little bit, trying to get it straightened out as well.
Yeah, let's have a look what happened to Adam.
So what happens? He drives down into this turn right here, and oh yeah, it just kind of loops it. Dean, usually I come up with nicknames for some of these road courses. You know that I come up with some crazy nicknames for some of these road courses. So I would say by the end of the next 2 hours, I will have every single turn a nickname before it's all said and done.
I hope so. There are names for them. There's the International Horseshoe. There's the Kink, the Western Horses, the infield. There's the NASCAR turns, the bus stop, Sunset, Tri-Oval, the bus stop. I mean, there's all sorts of corners. I don't even know half of them, believe it or not. But this is entering into turn 1 here.
Wait a minute. That first one that you said, what did you say it was? International what?
International Horseshoe, I think it is. This one.
Oh, okay. I thought you said something completely different. Okay, never mind. I was like, whoa. Okay, I didn't know that's what they called that corner. I mean, I've already saw a couple of guys already dive bomb and spin it out through there, but I didn't know they actually was that mad about it that they called it that. But
these are the
apparently
Western horses.
Not. But the Western horses.
This
okay.
is the infield exit.
Okay.
And then you come up onto this exits onto we have a car stopped on the track too. I think that's Newton. Newton is
no
there.
Bad part about it, he was right there battling with Diebold right there for the fifth spot.
Yeah.
Ends up spinning around, and it's game over now for Newton. Now he's got to try to battle back one way or another. Post Popper's instant replay. I'm going to call this baby powder corner right here because we've already seen numerous drivers, even Adam Newton, just spinning around loose traction right there. And, Dean, the reason I say baby powder corner is because, I mean, I don't know if you've ever been to a go-kart track or a slick track, but you put baby powder out there on that damn thing, you will slide all over the place. It'll be like literally driving on ice. So I got to call that. I mean, I know it sounds completely crazy. That is BP corner right there that Adam Newton spun around in.
Corner. Okay.
Yeah.
Not sponsored by British Petroleum. See the lights at the moment for the arrows saying go this way because it's not the Daytona 4 turns that you'd be going at. So go into the infield. That's how bright the lights are. As you can see, the conditions here at the moment, it's quite gloomy. And you can see the illuminated piling at timing tower, of course, there in the infield there. They got the old Ferris wheel happening up there. That's where you can sit up there and hold your beer and watch the race there, Jacob. As you go around and around, as you watch the cars go round and round.
But you know, Dean, I mean, you saw that right there going into turn 1. I mean, do you really think that was necessary to have those yellow lights pointing toward the left right there? I mean, is that really necessary? Because, I mean, they ought to know when they come out here, hey, you're going to a road course. You're not on the super speedway version of Daytona. Is the lights really necessary for that very first turn? I mean, or are they going to sit there and, call for a lawsuit just because, I wasn't told to turn right here? They ought to know that.
Well, yeah, but you got to understand too, when you do, the 500, the Daytona 500 or whatever, and so you're just going lap after lap after lap after lap, then it's imprinted in your, there's your arrow as well too, into the bus stop. It's imprinted into your brain. You kind of muscle memory it at some point. So you're driving, especially endurance races as well too. You might go, hang on, I forgot I got to go on the infield. So maybe it's just there to give you a last minute reminder that no, you're not in the, you've not got 4 turns, you've got multiple turns. Look at the sparks coming out of the back too of Luke Smith's car as well too. That's what you're going to see. This is a low downforce and how low they obviously are to the track there, that you'll start seeing some sparks fly off in certain corners.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, and I mean, just absolutely bottoming out here at Daytona. But obviously, this place was repaved back in 2011. It's more like late 2010, obviously. I mean, they got that lined up, and then the very first race here on the newly repaved surface was in 2011. Obviously, that was when Trevor Bain got his, honestly, one-off. I mean, that was the only way they ever got. But I mean, hey, he got a Daytona 500. You can't really fault the old boy for that. I mean, he got a Daytona 500, so give it to him for that. But You know, I mean, but at the same time, even though, I mean, that was back 2011, this is 2025, so obviously this track has aged a little bit. As you see Randy Nichols going by Luke Smith, Kermit the Frog going to the P3 spot. So Nichols up here trying to get him a podium spot. And Dean, Dean, you call a whole lot more endurance races than I have. You know a lot more about these than I do. But what is the mindset for these drivers when they're going into these endurance races, knowing that they've got to sit there for 2.5 hours, they can't get up, they can't go pee, they got to make sure that they got their beer sitting right beside of them, they got enough drinks, enough hydration and everything else. What's the mindset getting ready for a 2.5 hour endurance race?
Well, I mean, getting ready, I'm not sure. Just try to be as fresh as possible, you know, get up, run, jog around a little bit because you're going to be in your racing rig for some time. During the race, one of the biggest mindsets for the drivers is fuel, for one, because a lot of time can be made up, obviously, by conserving some of that fuel. Perhaps if you can even go one less pit stop, that's something on the drivers' minds they can go through. It's also have a little bit of patience, be consistent is the key as well. Too. You saw there that Randy got past Luke. Luke looked to me that he just allowed him through. He said, okay, there's no point in fighting this battle at the moment because we still have a ton of time to go. 2 hours and 5 minutes to be exact. And it could sometimes be on a different strategy as well. And that's because I saw Randy flashing his lights there, and then you know, a couple of corners later, Luke allows him through. So they are you're ultimately your own strategy in endurance races too. So you're fighting the clock more than you're fighting the other cars. Of course, you are aware of them. You want to try to overtake them. But at the same time, you might be sitting there trying to stick to a certain lap time because you want to conserve a bit of fuel. Because you're like, okay, if I can go a couple laps longer than these guys, or if I can even go, you know, so much, maybe I could squeeze one less pit stop out of the equation. That, of course, can save you a stack of time because you do have to spend quite a bit of time chucking some gasoline into these tires. I'm not sure this would be that punishing that you have to be worrying about really chucking on some full freshies or anything like that, because these GT3 cars are not too bad on the tires. But usually I always have somebody who's really good at GT racing in the booth with me that has a lot more experience there. Jacob.
Well, I mean, hell, I mean, I'll be honest with you, you fooled me. You know, because honestly, I mean, you know, I mean, the way you were talking about it all right there, I mean, I thought you were a seasoned pro out of it. So, you fooled me. I mean, if you wouldn't have said that, I mean, I think that would have all been absolutely perfect. As we got a little bit of a sideways spinner. Buzzy Mongold, he looks like he may have cracked the back end of the car.
Oh, yeah.
Might have our first driver that has actually made contact with something other than the pride here tonight, getting spun around. And looks like it is Buzzy Mongold. The back camera still works. That's good. But certainly back end damage right there on Buzzy. And yeah, he's got some seriously serious issues. Something happened. Oh, no, he locked it up. Spins it. Not able to make it into the pits. And I'm not even going to translate what he said. Oh, dear God. Oh, God. Oh, my God. Oh, Lord. That scared everybody to death. I think it even scared Buzzy to death. Oh, man. Oh, yeah. Goodness. That's... Whoo.
I know, that very much awareness, and I think a lot of these drivers are in the same Discord chat as well, too, so they'll be on the team radio. Bus will be like, mate, be careful. You're going to see me pointing headlights at you at 200 miles per hour when you come in there. He luckily just gets to his pit stop. He should be able to use fast repair. Bingo, there it is. You can see that everything's all nice and new, mate. Just like a Christmas present that you're opening up at Christmas time there. So you get yourself a brand new Porsche. Buzzy, as he's... just on the putting some fuel in the car, I'd imagine, at that point. Let's go back and have a look what happened to Buzz.
Yeah, I'm curious
to see what happened. He's already done something before. So that's when he's that's the recent spin. So here it is. This is where he has his rear wing attached, so you know he's all good to go. Coming into...
I'm thinking maybe the water might have had something to do with it, Dean. Yeah, it looks like it.
Bang. And that's snapped.
It wasn't that bad, though. Well, I mean, I've seen harder hits than that, though.
Yeah. Some of these cars are a little gingerly. If you smack them in the wrong way, it's crab walking there, and then that's what we saw live before.
Well, I'll tell you what. While we got the opportunity, why not? Let's. I don't. Well, he's back out there on the track. Well, I'll tell you what, Dean. I mean, it's a fun
it's a
race.
fun race.
So
Yeah.
hell, why not? Hell, why not? Let's bring him on up here. Where is he at? Right here. We'll bring Buzzy up here, and he may end up telling us to go bye-bye. Actually, I cannot bring anybody up here. I still don't have permission, Dean. I can't bring anybody up here yet. Oh man.
I thought they sorted that out.
Better just throw a caution that way we can sort this out. I thought they did too. Nobody's sorted it out. I can't go in here and I can't bring anybody up here, which might be a good thing because you look at Buzzy right there. Look at how he is right there. I mean, he's only in one chat right now. He is with Cody Nod, obviously with Warrior Racing Esports. He does not look happy. Like, I mean, literally, his face is about as red as that wall and about as red as that North Life logo back there. He is not happy right now. Even with the wind blowing through his hair, might not have been a good idea to try to bring Buzzy up here in the booth. So we might have actually saved their jobs right here.
You'd be surprised. I mean, once again, it's a fun race. So, you know, these guys got no championship or anything like that on the line here. Once again, there's still a long time to go. You still got 2 hours. A lot of these drivers will make mistakes like that, and this track that's got some evolution changes to it. Those puddles will start perhaps drying up. Perhaps we could have rain in the horizon as well. We're not sure. So you got to just take it. You use a fast repair, okay? You get on. I mean, a lot of endurance races, you don't have fast repairs. They go on the damage clock. Guess what, mate? They sit down there for 15, 20 minutes. That's when you probably have a little bit of frustration in that. But because it's a fun race, you know, once again, you get yourself a brand spanking new car and everything's back to order. So you just got to get on with it. Once again, it's a consistency is what it is in endurance races. You've just got to try to keep it on the track first because that's the worst enemy of any driver and any team usually. It's just keeping it on the track. That's usually. And then if you can manage to go a little quicker than the rest of the field, like MDW is at the moment, then, you know, you got a smile on your face. But no driver's immune to those walls and the track limits because it just takes up one little slip of concentration or whatever, and bingo, all of a sudden you're in a fence, you're going around, and you can go from the penthouse to the outhouse pretty quickly.
Penthouse to the outhouse, yeah, absolutely. You don't want to end up going to the outhouse. You want to at least stay in the penthouse, or at least on the second floor. You don't want to go to the outhouse. No way, shape, fashion, or form. You saw Buzzy Mongo. Now you go to your race leader, which is MDW. Out to about a 16-second gap over Jackson Wade. We would pull MDW in for a chat, but obviously I don't have permission, so I can't do that. That would have been fun to be able to bring him in here, but
maybe Brady can help you out with that.
Somebody might be able to.
Cody's racing at the moment.
Somebody's got to be.
I doubt he can, but maybe if you DM, maybe if Brady's around, you might be able to.
Well, let's see. Let's see if anybody's online. Anybody online? Nobody's online. I guess we'll just wing it. I guess we'll just do the best that we can with it, Dean. But MDW really seems like he's kind of set in right here. I mean, if we remember, Dean, when we watched some of the races in the past that MDW has ran, road course racing, as far as like trucks, I'm sure he's raced a couple of next gen cars, but every time I've watched this boy right here racing a truck at a road course, he is always finishing top 2, top 3, even winning a couple of them. Wood is fast on these road courses, and I'm not surprised to see him out here leading this thing here tonight for the Daytona road course for the Florida Cabinet Distributors endurance race. I'm not surprised to see him out here leading this race. I'm actually surprised to see the domination that's coming into play and pulling away from Jackson Wade.
Yeah, I think MDW's got a lot of road course experience, perhaps even more in these GT3s as well. And so he's probably not been looking forward to this one. I'm not sure how much of a chance that MDW gets to actually do any GT3 racing. I know he doesn't race in the leagues that I've broadcasted, but that's also at different times as well. So I'm not sure he's going to get up at whatever time it is that there are some of those races. But he does like going left and right, and he certainly has that pace. He's proving a 20-second gap. It's not, I mean, it's a big gap, but some of these drivers haven't gone down a pit road yet. The top 9 haven't gone down. Buzzy's been down to obviously fix that damage, put some gasoline in. Joshua Suss has been down. It looks like Adam may have just gone around too. Yes, he has, unfortunately. So where is Adam? He's got to be off the side of the track there, and he can't be going back in just yet. He's going to fling around the other way, I think. No, he's going to turn around this way.
Left, right, pick a lane, pick which way you want to go. He ends up figuring out a way. He gets it straightened back out and sends it back out there. Shane Scott and others was able to go around him. Closest battle that we're seeing on the interval right now is the Adam Newton Shane Scott deal. I mean, they're about 2 seconds away from one another. So that's about the closest thing that I'm seeing out there on the racetrack. We'll take it one more shot right here. See what happened to Adam Lichty.
Oh, see the water.
Damn, this is going into turn one. He blew it all the way. He didn't even have a shot at trying to go into the infield. And then basically just says, okay, that'll be fine. I'll just go on down here and I'll just go pick the Super Speedway version, and tries to go backwards, almost hits one head on.
Yeah.
Where is he going? And then just
flips
flips it around and says, well, screw the infield.
Yeah, he's very lucky trying to turn around there, but he had to wait for those cars. Otherwise, he would have just completely smashed him up and smashed himself up. So you just got to have that pace. You don't usually in an endurance race, you're not expecting that somebody's going to be around. Well, I guess sometimes if there's 50 cars on a track, you're going to have somebody. These are the live pictures. So he's heading into pit road currently at the moment. So I wonder if he's not sure if he's serving a black flag. There it is. Unless he's got a speeding in pit road. And that's that little black flag that comes up in the timing. You see that yellow flag that comes up as well too? That Randy Nichols just got? That is an iRacing slowdown. So if you go off the track limits too far, so obviously if you go out, cut chicanes and stuff like that, iRacing automatically gives you a slowdown. You have to serve that slowdown in a certain period of time. Otherwise, you will get a black flag. So drivers have got a certain amount of time to do it. And if they don't do it, then they get the black flag. So basically, it'll just lift off when you can somewhere, to try not to lose too much time. It's difficult when you're in a battle with somebody and there's only less than a second apart. You generally probably would lose that position. But in an endurance race there, you've got a bit of time up your sleeve.
Well, I mean, thank you for actually acknowledging or saying that right there, because honestly, when I saw yellow, I thought it was because it wrecked. Honestly, I thought they spun out. Adam Lichty, I think why he got his black flag was because he actually cut the track, Dean. I think that might have been why he's getting that black flag, because if you remember, he spun going into turn one, completely said, screw the infield, I'm just going to take the Super Speedway route. So he completely missed the whole infield of the racetrack and just elected to go ahead and just gas it up and went out the other way. So that's why he's getting the black flag. Joshua Suss may be able to bounce back and actually catch him and pass Adam Lichty and get him a spot. Very good possibility Joshua Suss may be able to try to jump Adam Lichty as he is still on pit road burning that black flag. See Suss now working his way through this. And got to give a call to Joshua Suss. Granted, I know he's running dead last, but here's the thing. This right here was put up by Joshua Suss. Joshua Suss is the one that put this together, wanted us to come out here, wanted these drivers to come out here. It's a fun race. It was a free entry tonight. Nobody had to pay an entry fee to come out here and race in the Florida Cabinet Distributors Endurance Race. So good man on Joshua Suss. He's taking care of all of that stuff. And so you got to give him a little bit of love. Look at him. He's smiling. He knows we're talking about him. He knows we're talking about him one way or another.
Look, he's coming out of pit lane right now. Look how close this is actually going to be. He's flashing. That's Adam exiting right now. So there it is. You said he was going to be pretty close to him. He might have Adam, but no, he gets Adam just comes out. So this is going to be one of the closest battles on track there. And Officer Suss is going to put some pressure on. I would put some pressure on immediately, because Adam's come out of the pit lane with some cold tyres, mate, and it takes a few corners to get them more up to temperature.
Yeah, Dean, you mentioned that a second ago, for the folks at home about the flashing of the lights. When I see somebody flashing lights, I'm thinking that I might want to slow down because there's literally a cop sitting there waiting at a speed trap fixing to try to bust people trying to get speeding tickets. That's when I see somebody flashing lights at a car. But Suss, he's blinking lights. Why? To let somebody know, or to let Adam that he's coming up behind him, or what's the deal with the flashing lights there?
Well, anything really drivers can do. Sometimes it's frustration in fighting with each other. Shane Scott's going around somewhere too, and I'll have a look at that in a second. But yeah, it could be frustration. That could have been the fact of just letting Adam know that he he's behind him and he's coming out pretty quickly because Adam was coming out of pit road. He might have thought that Adam was going to cut in front of him very slowly, but wasn't the case. But that's a courtesy thing. It's certainly sometimes drivers do it in frustration as well. Leaders sometimes will do it. It's like if MDW is coming around to overtake some of these drivers, he might just give them a little flash just to remind them, hey, I'm coming through. And don't hold me up too much. There's multiple reasons. A lot of drivers do it. Sometimes there's beef there, Jacob, they have from some incident that might have occurred before. I mean, there's multiple ways. I've seen leagues where, that's spin right in front, and that's Adam.
It's going to pay out for him.
Oh.
He's going to pay out for him. He gets around Adam Lake. He spins.
Oh, wow.
Other drivers coming through. Oh, no.
It's Randy.
And one of them behind him, Randy Nichols, getting the bad end of the stick on that. He is running P3.
Yeah.
And he don't look happy. Honestly, I don't know if he looks happy or not, to be honest with you. But he kind of looks like he's just kind of zoned in, just kind of like, well, damn. I mean, I wasn't planning on that happening, but honestly, I don't know what kind of facial expression that Randy's got right here. I mean, he looks like he is straight up zoned in, watching everything, and looks like he didn't even show any emotion of anything that happened right there.
Oh, yeah, it's because there's an incident that happened, of course, and you're coming around doing your own thing, and then all of a sudden you see a car that's spun halfway across the track. You got to kind of react to it. Of course, there's a lot of puddles out there that you mentioned. So if you go off the racing line, MDW's in. I'll go back and have a look at that Shane Scott moment very soon, because he's in pit road, so he must have got damaged. There's MDW flashing his lights for crazy. I think he's just listening to the broadcast, and he's just happy because he's got nobody to flash here, mate. So I don't know. See, there's no reasons as to why everybody's flashing their light. Maybe he's going, come on, safety car, get out there or something like that. But no, Jackson Wade's come in as well too. So this is your first round of I'd say scheduled pit stops around lap 23. So we've done about 40 minutes in this race. That may be about what most of these cars have for a tank of gas.
I'll say this, if MDW just keeps on opening up the gap on Jackson Wade and the rest of the field, somebody might want to get with Wood and just see if he can just drive this sucker backwards and actually give everybody a chance. Maybe not. Here comes Randy Nichols. Look at the water. They're hitting puddles. They're trying to be careful with it. Yeah. Maybe what happened to Shane Scott a while ago. Wow, we got a spinner right behind him. Somebody locked it up and spun it out. Luke Smith covered the frog. Spins it going into the trial. Boy, it was right behind Randy Nichols. And he's going to stay out there on the racetrack and shoot by Randy Nichols and slide up in position.
But Randy comes in here.
Here's Randy right here. See what happens. I mean, just out of nowhere. He had nowhere to go. He tried to lock it up and bam.
That was that previous incident, wasn't it? Oh, no. It was and then this is what happened with Luke Smith. So, Kermie. Oh, he's at the puddle. He might have. Have actually. I don't know if he was actually planning on going into pit road at that point. Because he was pretty quick if he was. But he was just chucking that thing in, mate. I'm just going to have a look. No, I don't think he was going to pit lane at that speed. He's just trying to cut the inside chicane there so it maximizes your racing line. But that's a little too dangerous. They're all on dry tires too still. And I wanted to go back in a second, have a look at what happened to. We've had other moments as well too, but I wanted to have a look at what happened to Shane Scott. This is what dropped him down when he was up. He's the same thing. He's hit that puddle, hard lick into the fence. Ooh. And that's what forced him down in the pit road. Oof. He had to take... Good job for not reversing at that point. And now he's... don't reverse too much up the racetrack. So that's the pit lane entrance. And now he can come in.
That might have been... Yeah. Honestly, dude, I think that's why he got a black flag. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to throw it out there for all the drivers. The first one of the night. This is for the water puddles.
We got beef.
I think everybody's got some beef right now with the water puddles. Nobody's been able. Well, there's been a couple of them that's been able to go down pit road. Check out Roger Diamond. He took the safest route possible. Missed every bit of the water puddle. Still hit a little bit when he was going into the pits. He took the safest route he possibly could to try to miss them. Drove all the way around them. Almost missed the entrance of pit road. And was able to drive it in there. And Luke Smith, Kermit the Frog, able to jump it down pit road this time around and not hit nothing, not spin it out. But I'm telling you, Dean, that pit road, I'm telling you, wow. I mean, just absolutely a nightmare for these drivers here tonight trying to get down pit road. And not only that, but you think about it, even for MDW, I mean, granted, he has been lighting it up out here on the racetrack so far this evening. That right there, he can still end up having some kind of issue hitting that puddle that's right there. It might get a little bit frisky, frisky on the biscuit or however you want to call it. Hit that puddle, spin it around. He could literally total his car, and then we could be talking about a completely different race.
Yeah. And the thing is, too, well, on a sprint race, yes, you want to maximize your speed. Same, obviously, more important in oval racing and NASCAR. You want to maximize your entrance so you're not going to lose too much time when you're entering in pit lane and exiting pit lane. But when you're endurance races, you've got time up your sleeve. You can afford to lose a second or something like that. Just be a little bit more cautious entering in the pit lane. Definitely don't want to get busted for speeding. And at the same time, just you can scrub a little bit of speed off. Just take your time, get in there, and that way you're not going to cause any incidents of spinning or damaging your car entering in there. So that's what drivers have to be aware of, because once again, it's an endurance race. You do that in endurance races. You don't do that in sprint races if you can, because in sprint races you don't have time to make it up later. And these races, you do have time to make up a second or two. Not a problem. So that 1 second can cost you a minute, if not more, in damage, having to come back into pit road or take a fast repair, or if you don't have fast repairs, then, well, you might be in a little bit of trouble. Cody Knott, final driver to come back in for the first time, actually. Believe it or not, Jackson Wade coming back in again. He only just come back in a couple of laps ago, so I wonder why Jackson Wade, he's come off track somewhere on lap 24. He might have damage. Let's have a look.
Very much, Mike. There you see Jackson Wade. Let's see what happened to the 9 of Jackson Wade.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, a little bit of door damage right there. Might have a little bit of door banging with the guardrail right there. Not able to hold on to it. You see him working his way through the kink right here. Slides, bam, hits the wall. I will say this, Dane. If this was a dry track, everybody would still be good to go. Everybody would just be driving around, no problem. Everybody would just be driving and having no issues. But with the wet track surface that we're having out here on the racetrack, it has 100% changed the game for each and every one of these drivers. MDW is literally still on lights out mode, but Jackson Wade spinning right there a second ago lets me know that there can be a battle for second out of this. It is all about survival, because Joshua Suss said it best, trying to get people in here and getting drivers in to run this endurance race. You gotta survive. And I've said it before, when we go to these road courses, you have to survive to be able to try to make it, and try to make it somehow, some way. Cody Knott, car just wouldn't turn right there through the horseshoe, the international horseshoe, as you were talking about.
Yep.
Wasn't able to make the car turn, just drove it straight off the track.
But that's fine, because he slowed down enough so that he can just gingerly approach it, then come back out there and not absolutely chuck the car into the fence. So that he probably realized that when he was entering into the corner, so I'm not going to make it. So he just completely got off the gas. That's what you do in endurance races as well. You can, because once again, that's only a couple of seconds that you lost. I think it was about 2 seconds overall, really. So it ain't that bad, once again, in an endurance race to do that. But we've had a moment with Kermit, Luke Smith, who is all of a sudden behind Randy. So I think Randy got past old Luke Smith, because Luke Smith's gone off the road somewhere, and well as Adam Newton has. So let's have a look what happened to Kermit the Frog. Yep, they're same corner as well. It's been catching a lot of them off.
I'm telling you, that kink right there and BP turn has really been wearing these drivers out here tonight. There you see Randy Nichols just slide right by after Kermit the Frog. Luke Smith spinning through the kink, got himself sideways. Here's Adam Newton, tries to drive it into the first turn and see what happens with Adam. And he's going to loop it right there in the first turn as well. Yep. That turn right there, in my opinion, that is the hold my beer turn right there, Dean. And and I have said it, I've said it on other broadcasts where, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, the bank turns, or the 31 degrees of banking here at Daytona, those would be the hold my beer, just because of how much you're banked up in the car trying to go through there. If you didn't hold your beer, then you would spill it over when you're going through those turns. But you are hauling the mail going down that front stretch, and then you got to damn near stop on a dime to go into that very first turn right there past the pit road. That is a hold my beer, especially right here with the wet track conditions and all that. I mean, that is literally hold my beer and try to send it in there and try to make it stick.
Exactly. I hold my beer or popcorn corner as well, too, because that's where you get your fold-out chair. Well, you can have best of both, can you? Get your fold-out chair, get your popcorn, sit back and enjoy it if you're obviously virtually trackside. And, of course, popcorn in one hand, beer in another. And just sit. That's your hot ticket seats right there in that corner, because you're going to see all that action that you've seen here tonight. You can look at Kermie, gets onto the chicane and goes around. That's another tough one, too. That's at the exit of the bus stop.
Oh, folks, I'm telling you, if you love what you see, like and subscribe. NASRA 360 Racing Network. Let us know out there in the comments if you're loving what you see. It is Luke Smith, Kermit the Frog, spit it out, trying to regather himself. We're going to step away and let you hear from some of our sponsors as well. We'll be right back. We'll keep you updated if anybody else tries to regather it and spit out as well. You're watching the Florida Cabinet Distributors Endurance Race here on the NASRA 360 Racing Network.
Craftsmanship that lasts a lifetime is Florida Cabinet Distributors. With over 20 years in business and 39 years of woodmaking experience, they proudly serve Northeast Florida to Southeast Georgia, delivering custom woodwork that combines precision, beauty, and durability. Whether you're dreaming of a custom kitchen, bathroom vanity, fireplace and mantle, entertainment center, outdoor kitchen, or even a full library, we can build it at Florida Cabinet Distributors, exactly the way that you envision. Hey, no project is too big or too small. If it's made of wood, Florida Cabinet Distributors can make it. Call or text Steve today. Yes, they gave us his personal cell number, 904-874-3442. That's 904-874-3442 to book today. Florida Cabinet Distributors, craftsmanship that lasts a lifetime.
For Murph's Magical Creations. Home to custom laser engraving and gifts. This veteran-owned and operated company engraves for all occasions. If you want one of Murph's Magical Creations, call the number on your screen or commission through either Instagram or via email. Murph's Magical Creations, made with love for you.
Oh, baby, we are back at it here tonight. Florida Cabinet Distributors Endurance Race. Redneck and National Jake Reeves here with the Australian Dean Hopton, Biggles on production, co-commentating here tonight. Look, Smith, he's blinking them lights. I guess he's trying something right here. He's blinking. I mean, hell, they ain't even blinking up there. Honestly, I think they're screwing one another at this point. Honestly, I think they're blinking lights just screwing with one another at this point, Nate.
Adam's smashed the, I'm just reading the chat as well too. He says, I've smashed the car 30 times. Good times. I think he smashed it again too. We'll have a look in a second. He's in the chat. Well, this also could be, that's not Randy up the road there that he's flashing the lights at. That is actually MDW in the lead. You can see on the little track map, that's positions. So is he just trying to throw off MDW? That's interesting. because MDW has lapped everybody up to Kermit the Frog there. Next to for MDW to lap would be number P4, which would be Randy Nichols.
Yeah, well, I mean, you got to use every advantage that you can, Dean. I mean, these guys got to figure out a way to use advantages. I mean, hey, if they can blink lights to try to throw somebody off, by all means, I mean, use it. I mean, I'm sure it wasn't wow. I mean, that, yeah, right there. Yeah, he towed that right there. He towed that car. Odds are he probably towed it, and he probably parked it. Here's Josh Suss. Let's see what Suss has got. See if he loops it around. Might have hit a water puddle. Yes, sir, he did. Loops it around, backs it hard in the outside retaining wall. And Dean, I've talked about it before. Even though that is a safer barrier, it doesn't give. It's like hitting a concrete wall when you hit these safer barriers, or you hit the tires, or you hit any of those things. Here's the Bulldog Adam Newton once again at Hold My Beer turn.
Mm-hmm.
And once again, just loops it around. I'm telling you, these turns with the track conditions that there is, I'm telling you, I mean, this has been very, very tough on these drivers here tonight, trying to keep these cars straight.
Yeah, it will be. And now I think some of these drivers are going to be running out of their fast repairs. I'm not 100% sure how many fast repairs were allowed for the drivers, but Joshua is some of these drivers are on the damage clock now, so they're spending some time in there. There's a minute and change there for Joshua. Is there any way to find out? Maybe somebody can let us know in the chat. Or were they on unlimited fast repairs? Because if they're not, and some of these drivers have used their fast repairs with an hour and a half to go in this one, there might be some retirements. But I hope not, because it's a fun race. You know, I hope there's a few up their sleeve there, Jacob, because it's tricky. It's wet. You know, it's nighttime. It's an endurance race.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. But, you know, I will say this. I mean, they're putting on a show. Wood's putting on a show the old-fashioned way, just going out here and just putting down laps, trying to get up here, wanting to win this sucker. And, do what you got to do to try to get up there. So he's doing it the old-fashioned way. There's Shane Scott. Got a virtual cam on Mr. Scott right here. And you see him. I mean, he's doing it kind of well.
He's closing his eyes. He's like... He's expecting it to.
Hey, well, wait a minute. That ain't on me. That ain't on me. You pulled that up.
Yeah,
that's on you.
Actually.
That's on you, Dean.
Sorry, Shane.
Yeah.
There you go. He's all right. It's okay. Car's good. Car's good. See, he's like, it's driving good. See? It's a Porsche, mate. It can handle it.
Porsches are tough, but apparently not tough enough. Watch out for the water. Watch out for
lane.
the water. Look at him. He honestly looked like he was going to let go of the damn wheel right there. He honestly did. He was going to literally, Jesus, take the wheel and just let it slide right in there any way that he could. He was sending it in there. But water puddles have been a kind of a pain for these guys out here tonight. One way or another. I mean, there is puddles all over the place. This is like a minefield. Honestly, these guys not only are having to race one another, they're having to race against the water puddles, try to get around the minefields, try not to hit those, because if they do, they're going to end up spinning around and having all kinds of issues as well. And the best of them's having issues. Jackson Wade's had issues. Diebold's had issues. Nichols, Kermit the Frog, Luke Smith, Buzzy Mongold, spinning it around. Diebold, there he is. I mean, hell, honestly, I think you're doing pretty good right now. We ain't even getting replays anymore. We're getting them live here on the NASRA 360 Racing Network. As Diebold, Nichols is going to slide by Diebold. Nichols will go to P3 now.
Yeah, I've got the magic touch at the moment. Any camera I flick onto a driver, they'll be forced into a spin or into a crash. So be careful out there, drivers. I've got the power. It's like when you play SimCity, isn't it? And you pick up the Sims and you can just do whatever you want with them, and you can just crash a building or something like that.
It's like that little game. I don't know if you ever played it or not, Dave, but it was. It's kind of like that little game. I don't know if y'all ever played it or not, but it's like Roller Coaster Tycoon.
Yeah.
Have you ever played that?
Right. Yeah,
Roller Coaster Tycoon 2, where you're sitting there. Yeah, but the bad part is you're sitting there picking him up and you just sit there with him and you just hold him there.
Yeah.
And then literally it'll have this little talk right there. Put me down. Put me down. You know, I mean, they'll actually be saying that. Put me down. Why are you holding me? Put me down. Craziest stuff ever. Newton right here. He's had his share of spins there tonight. So is Buzzy Mongold. Here they go. They're going around one right here sitting still. That was Shane Scott. He got a busted for the black flag as well and parked it right there in front of him. Said, yeah, there's some landmines out there with the water. Here's one more for you, and it's colored pink. So don't hit this one right here. I mean, you can hit the water puddles, I guess, but don't hit him. And whew, baby, them landmines, they are all over the place here tonight. Cars, water puddles, blinking lights. We got it all live here on the NASRA 360 Racing Network.
And you're getting Adam Newton at the moment, putting some pressure on Buzzy. That's the battle for 6 and 7. You can see if he gets a good exit out of here, should be able to. Usually overtake them using that slipstream by the time you get down into turn 1, because this is turn 3 and turn 4, I believe. Actually, yeah, turn 3 and turn 4 out of the actual Daytona oval. And then you'll go to see your start-finishing line. You can see now how Buzz is getting that little slipstream. You'll tuck in behind, but this is going to be faith in your braking point right now once you come up to this hold my beer turn.
I'm nervous for both of them right here. I don't know how this is going to work out because Newton's already spun out right here about 2 or 3 times. Buzzy actually got a little loose right there out of the corner. Tried to miss him as well. I think it's Shane Scott right behind him as well. There is Buzzy Mongold. Look at him leaning going into these corners, Dane. I mean, you gotta. Granted, this is a sim. This ain't real, but you know, it's about as realistic as you gotta get, rather than actually, having so much money and trying to get into a real car. I mean, this is about as real as you gotta get. And I guess if you're gonna make it as real as you can, yeah, lean into the corners. I've done it, and I've done it with a controller playing back when I was like 10, 12 years old, playing on the PlayStation with a controller leaning into it. I mean, you feel like when you lean into the corners, then you feel like when you're leaning in there, you get a little bit of extra grip, I guess you could say. I mean, at least that's how I always feel.
Yeah, you do actually. You lean into it, you get more traction into the corners. That's a common thing that you do in the virtual sims for sure. People even do it in real life race cars, but usually so strapped in that you don't want too much movement, just your head sometimes. But even your head is going to go onto the side cockpit, really, that you're in there, because once again, you don't want to see him. Buzzy struggling through the bus stop. So that's old Buzz. Just got confirmation out there too. Of course, we have 3 fast repairs. So yeah, I would be very careful using those fast repairs for those drivers, because we still have an hour and a half to go in this race, and if you use them all up too quickly, you'll just be sitting in pit lane just doing repairs. So if you do have some minor repairs, you might see those drivers when they go onto that pit stop, as Shane Scott is doing now. And I think at the moment there, he's just trying to chip out some more of those repairs that he has as he's smiling, because he's probably got a little bit of damage still on that Porsche. And if he can chip him out a little bit, he can still be in this one. But we'll see, because it certainly wouldn't be fuel. It's just down the pit road a little bit. He's going to take on some tyres as well too, so why not have a swig and get back out there. But it's all about having fun. And he's in P9 at the moment, as Diebold's gone around somewhere. Did he or not?
Yeah. Well, we would pull Shane Scott up here, but obviously I can't because I don't have the permissions. Dean, you got permissions. Hell, you could probably pull him up here if you wanted to. I mean, we could try to make it interesting. Diebold.
Yep, there it is.
What happened right here? That is that's hold my whiskey corner right there, I guess you could say, because we've already seen a couple of them spin.
MDW got an off track.
Bus stop, yeah.
Look at this. He's got to slow down.
MDW.
He hasn't made a mistake at all yet. He must have cut through somewhere. Maybe that could be an avoidance, because he might have saw a car spinning or something like that, and it might have thrown him off. But there it is. MDW is going to have no problems. Oh, he actually has a spin. There you go. So the commentator's curse is on him too.
The one man that hasn't made a problem all night long, he spins out. But the thing about it is that he's got such a huge gap, Dean.
Yeah.
It really doesn't matter. I mean, he could spin it out about 2 or 3 times, and he'd still be good to go.
You know what I think he did? But I think that's actually clever. He had that slowdown, so he figured what he's going to do is that he'll just have a little spin out of the corner, and that'll just remove the slowdown from iracing and he gets back on it. I think he's done that on purpose, to be honest, because he's been driving so well. It didn't look like a mistake that MVW would make into this race. So I honestly wouldn't be surprised if he hasn't done it on purpose.
That is clever, honestly. I did not think about that, Dean. That is very, very clever right there, because obviously it's like you said, when he spins it around, he had to lock it up. Don't want to back into the tires or the tires, quote unquote, concrete wall. But when you stop, like you said, I've had those issues, I've had those penalties where you got to slow down and everything. So yeah, I mean, it worked out fantastic for him. I agree. I think that's exactly why he did it. As you see him working his way, this is the hold my whiskey corner right here, because it's just literally left, right, left, and then bam, right back into the throttle. And then obviously we've seen a couple of them loop it coming out of the bus stop here tonight. But
all right,
Wood starting to try to make something happen here.
Who would you like me to pull in? I'll try it. This is on you if you do. Oh, Shane Scott's got a round 2. Oh, he's back in the no. Oh, you might have towed.
There you go. Get Shane Scott in here.
Right,
Shane's had issues tonight. If we can find Shane Scott.
Oh, he's not actually in any of the chats. I don't see.
Well, go figure. The one driver we was gonna bring in here, and he ain't even in here. So,
no.
That is sad.
I
mean, hell, we tried. I guess
you could pull Adam in. I think. Oh no, Adam's out. Is Adam? Adam's still. Where is
Adam Lichty?
Yeah,
Adam Lichty. He's out.
He's out. I think. Yeah.
Yeah, bring him in here. Let's talk to him. Let's see what's up.
He's in the Blue Lights Racing. We'll get him up, moving up to here.
Yeah, he might be.
All right, see if he's in.
He might just be joking around with everybody down there. Blue Lights Racing, Adam Lichty, buddy. Adam, what the heck happened to that? What the heck happened to you out there, bud?
I am terrible at this, man. I'm terrible at this. I'm just here having a good time.
Oh, man, we saw you. We saw you spin a while ago. Not that time, but the one where you went and you lost it through Hold My Beer Corner, which is the first corner.
Yeah, I almost
just did. Yeah.
Almost hit him head on.
Yeah, I mean, what was the thought process going through that? I mean, you blow this first turn.
Hell, I didn't even know where I was. I didn't have a clue where I was.
Yeah, I know. You completely missed the whole infield and just said, screw it. I'm just going to go ahead and just drive right through here, and I'm just going to go ahead and go up the bacon and everything else, and then you got a black flag for that.
That's it. I thought about one time just running the oval.
Just go straight on.
I mean, I would have. I would have just saw what happened. I mean, you might have got a penalty for it. Now waste Sunday out of that. But Adam, are you going to be able to get back out there, or are you just along for the fun here tonight, just cutting up with everybody?
Yeah, I'm just here cutting up, man. I am so terrible at road racing. Shouldn't have even got in here, but something to do,
I'll tell you what, if you get the opportunity, go out there and hit the weatherman if you can get back out there. Make it a little interesting. I'm just kidding. Don't go out there and hit one.
Hell, I couldn't catch him if he was right behind me.
Adam, buddy, real quick, have you got any sponsors or any shout-outs that you want to thank?
No, I'm good.
All righty, 10-4, Adam, buddy. Appreciate your time.
Yeah, man.
Bang. That's probably the one there that did it for him. Are you able to jump down the room yourself, mate, or you mean to move you down? You're in blue lights, right?
Oh, no, I can move. I can move.
Thank you.
Oh boy, tell you what, it's been a wild one here tonight, Dave. It really has. It's been a wild night with so much, issues right there. I mean, look at Adam Newton. Hell, he had a black flag, had to go down, had to serve that. Something happened with the Bulldog. He had to go down and get a black flag. I mean, everybody, right in front of Roger Diebold. And Jackson Wade just went around him. Jackson Wade still sitting in second, about a minute behind MDW.
Yeah, this is going to be a nice little battle that's come out at the moment. So out of the pit stops there for Roger's been down a pit road twice. That was the first time Adam Newton Adam Newton had to serve that, I think, at the moment. I'm getting a little confused there. As MDW, that's the fastest lap again. So 1:44. Put it this way. Yeah, most of the drivers doing 45s, 46s, 48s. MVW's doing 44s.
Good Lord. It's like a second faster every single time. So, I mean, you can't really deny the speed and the talent out of the youngster of MDW. And I mean, Dean, obviously, I'm sure you follow a little bit of what's going on the Friday night series with Jim Cunningham and myself calling for the C.O.P.S truck series. But, I know you called races and obviously produced races on the Friday night series with MDW. How skillful is this kid? I mean, not just tonight, but just in general, because every time we see this guy, every time we see this kid, you've seen it, he is always running up front. How skillful and how much experience and how good do you think MDW really is?
Oh, he's great. Absolutely. He's got so much more improvement as well, too. You get just the more and more time he gets behind the wheel there, which he has. Lucky for the youngster. And he's just, and now he's truly the weatherman, isn't he? My friend, look at that. Completely had to lift off there, Roger. Otherwise, he's going to go straight in the back of Newton's number 10 Porsche. But he's, the weatherman's good at the weather. Clearly, this is an indication that he can handle changeable conditions that you don't see, obviously, in NASCAR racing. But, this is the first time we've seen him behind a GT3, so he's obviously quick. And imagine what we're familiar with other cars. Maybe we get to pull him up there for a chat, Jacob, because I think MDW might be okay. He's pretty much in cruise control on this one at the moment, but that's up to you. You can ask him yourself.
Yeah, we may end up doing that. And honestly, you mentioned it just a second ago. Him being the weatherman and the track wet and the rain and everything else, I think that maybe there's, an issue right there with Adam Newton spinning right there, getting ready to hit up onto the banks. And there it is right there. Just hit the water and spun it around. Actually, that's live. He spun it again, I think.
He did.
Wow. Adam Newton just all over the place, slipping, sliding all over the place. But back to what I was saying, I think right there, that right there may be on the grounds of when they go through tech for cheating right there for MDW, because he is the weatherman. The track's slick. It has rained. It's in the dark. The whole 9 yards. That goes well for the weatherman, if you want to put it that way. You check out Bulldog.
Ooh.
Hit the rumble strip from what it looked like. It spins it sideways, barely tags it into the tires, and then watch this, comes out of the corner, tries to gas it back up, carry back out, hits the water again and spins it out. Yep. He has spun around more tonight than, he's spun around more than a ballerina dancer here tonight.
It is difficult because your tires are all got wet at that point and they get really cold. And so you try to hit the loud pedal and the car's just going, I'm not agreeing. There's Newton again, live pictures. I think he was trying to head into pit road. He's entered a little bit too quickly there and he's had another spin. Now, it's going to be careful. If he can get back around there and enter into pit lane, he should be able to. They will give him the black flag, as you can see. So he's going to have to serve that. There was just too much speed, but he's lucky that the pit lane is there. But I don't think he's going to be able to use his. He will be able to use his stall, but then he's going to have to come around unless he serves the black flag in the pit lane. I think for a hold, stop and go. I can't be sure unless he has to actually go back around again into pit road. So that'll be very interesting as Shane Scott's out after being on the damage clock for about 2.5 minutes.
Yeah, I was actually thinking about bringing Adam in here, but no, let's not even do that. He's already spun 3 times in 1 lap. That is not going to go well. I got a feeling.
He says comfortable out there at the moment.
Let's bring him in here. Hell, he's got a 1-minute-and-8-second lead over Jackson Wade, so why not? Bring him in here. We'll talk to him for a split second. We'll see what happens. Bring him in here. MDW, what's going on, buddy?
I'm hot. My balls are sweaty, and I'm in 5th gear.
You don't mind us chatting to you for a quick chat, right? It's a fun race, and you've got a commanding lead.
I don't care.
I got a question for you real quick. Sorry, while I remember, Jake. When you had a slowdown, because it's probably the only time I've ever seen you with a slowdown, and you had a spin, I think, into turn 1, was that a deliberate spin just to get rid of that slowdown?
No, my wheel disconnected on the backstretch chicane, and I died.
Oh.
And I went down into turn 1 trying to feel out if everything was okay. And I was like, okay, I think I'm okay. And then I just drove straight into a wet spot. And at least it cleaned the rubber off the car, but almost I'm gonna have to clean something else out the car. But, you know.
Fair enough.
But Dean, he's not going to deliberately tell you that he did that just to try to get himself out of it. Is that we might actually be screwing him up now. We may be trying to help Jackson Wade out. He was 1 minute and 8 seconds behind him one way or another. But listen, it's like I said, Dean, he's not going to actually tell you that he did that on purpose to try to clear any type of penalty he had. I mean, obviously, he's not going to say that live here on the broadcast. I mean, he would not do anything such a thing. But what would you credit here tonight? How would you? What I'm trying to say is what would you credit to the dominance that you're showing here tonight? 'Cause we've seen you fast in the road courses on the Friday night series as well.
I just love road, and I think a lot of it comes from, this is kind of where I started sim racing. Of course, I started on ovals, but Formula cars are really where I started on the F1 games, and then it kind of migrated here. The whole reason I got iRacing was to do the 24 hours of Spa, and from there it just kind of spiraled into, well, I actually kind of like this, and then I started doing it more and more. But I don't know, I just have a knack for road. I'm trying to get up there in iRating. Hopefully I'm aiming for February to be 3K in all aspects, and I'm there except in sports car. I think I'm very close in Formula until I got wrecked. So, but that's how officials go. But I mean, I've had a lot of help along the way as well, but I mean, I have a knack for this. And I think, as weird as it sounds, being in West Virginia kind of helps that too, with all the windy roads and rallies that we have here. I think that helps compared to other places where it's kind of more of highways than anything to get around. Because I'm in middle of nowhere, hillbilly West Virginia, so the roads aren't the best here.
Oh boy! Oh, you see Shane Scott spreading around as well. Well, I'll put it to you this way, Dean. His balls may be sweaty, and I feel like he's got a shot at loving spaghetti as well. I'm sure he loves spaghetti as well. I completely butchered that 9 Wasted Sunday. I was having an idea out of it, and I just completely butchered it. But Matt, buddy, congratulations on the wild run. Odds are we'll probably be talking to you here in about another hour when this thing's all said and done. But congratulations on the run. Keep it straight out there.
As long as my wheel doesn't disconnect again, I should be fine.
Alrighty, that is MDW Matthew David Wood. Dean, I'm pretty sure he's not going to be able to move himself down, so you may end up having to move him down there. So there's no way. Yeah, there you go. I mean, if you want to try to make it interesting, tell him to pull over, and he could try to do it. I mean, it's like you said, 1-20-second gap. I mean, he ought to be able to pull it over. Yeah, hell yeah, he's got plenty of time to pull it down. He'd be able to pull it off.
He's solid, as you said. So I didn't even know his background was from the actual Formula One game which I started actually commentating and producing the Formula One around the COVID time. So, and then I got sick of their Formula One, probably similar to what MDW did, and progressed into iRacing because it's much more serious. And plus, iRacing is so much more fun. You have so much flexibility that you can do for broadcasting, whereas Formula One, you've got 2 cameras to choose from, really, and that's about it. And plus, they had a lot of server issues and all that sort of stuff with the game for some time. It's just, yeah, it's not designed around league racing. It's designed around you jumping in a car, anybody jumping in a car in the world's fastest cars, and race with the best in AI and stuff like that for fun. That's what that is, of course. And then you go into a whole different world with iRacing because there's no career mode or any of that sort of stuff, and they're trying to make it, I think, easier now, aren't they? So you can kind of jump into iRacing and go, all right, here's a basic setup and here's a car and do your best. But you've got to jump in. You can do AI sessions, but you've really got to jump into public servers and race and get your iRating up, exactly what MDW mentioned, which means you've got to be racing with a whole bunch of random people on a track sometimes for a lot of practice sessions because you can't always just do league racing. And try to get that iRating up. And of course, somebody can take you out, and all of a sudden, you've got that iRating drops down. So it's a lot of grinding per se. You know that, Jacob, to get your iRating up to a very high competitive level.
Yeah, I mean, you obviously got to do that, and obviously, I mean, Dean. Speaking of that, trying to get your eye rating up as we check out Buzzy Bongo. Let's see real quick what happened with him and look like Joshua Suss back here. Suss might have actually tried to fake him out. Might have Buzzy hard into the tires. Good Lord, what a hit for Buzzy. And check it out. Look like maybe Kermit the Frog Luke Smith was sliding in there behind him as well. Right on board with Buzzy Bongo. Hide your kids, hide your wife. This might get a little bit violent right here. Just drives in there, gets sideways, bam, hard into the tires right there on the inside. But Dean, back to what I was talking about. You were talking about the I rating and all that good stuff. I mean, before I got into the broadcasting side of things, a lot of people probably didn't know this, but and I'm sure you probably didn't know this as well. But before I got into doing this broadcasting stuff, there was a time when I would race every single Monday night. It was an every single Monday night thing. Bunch of my buddies, I want to call them out, love them to death. I haven't talked to a whole lot of them here lately because I've been real busy with a kid and broadcasting and life and everything else. I haven't really had time to talk to them, but obviously with Venom Motorsports, with Ronnie Joyner and Daniel Molnix and Derek McMurtry and all those guys. Mike Patcher and all those guys, love them to death. I started out on, racing on consoles and was on PS4 with them. And then eventually all of us went over to iRacing. And this is where we ran in leagues. And then on Monday nights was Strength of Field night. And there may be some of you out there that may know exactly what I'm talking about as far as that strength of field goes. As you see Randy Nichols working his way around through 3 and 4. But there's a thing on Monday nights. Do what now, D?
SOF up there on the screen. Is that it? Strength of field?
Yeah, absolutely. Yes, that's exactly what it is.
Yep. Okay.
Well, the races that we were getting in at the time, they're splits that they would have, Dean, and obviously I'm sure you've seen it. Obviously, like MDW was talking about with the 24 hours of Spa, your I rating would determine however many people was going to be at a race, and if there's like 24 people that's going to race in a race or something. I mean, at one point, hell, I was in Xfinity lobby strength of field races, and there was like 32 of us at Talladega. That's fun. 32 at Bristol ain't worth the flip, but 32 at Talladega is fantastic. But the strength of field number, the higher that you get, the higher the competition is and the harder the competition is. And in those races, it was custom setups where you built your setups. You built it from the ground up. You adjusted the shocks. You adjusted the cambers. You adjusted the springs, the track bar, the wedge, the ride heights, all that stuff on those cars. Or you could be with a racing, race team like Premier Racing setups right there that you see at the top right of your screen. You could be with one of those race shops, and if you were a side driver, you could get setups, and then you could use those to your advantage, or you could pay for them on the websites. But that's where I really got into that strength of field racing, was on the Monday nights, and and it was fun, and I absolutely loved it. But then I started dabbing my feet into this broadcasting stuff, and absolutely loved it way more than the strength of field racing, because once you get into that top split, you find out real quick whether or not you're good or you suck. You find out real quick where you stand at, especially when you get in those top strength of field races. And I will say this, Dean. Some of the races, obviously you're over in Australia, like at 4 o'clock in the morning on the East Coast. Well, out in Australia, I don't know what time it would be out there in Australia, but like 3, 4 o'clock on the East Coast over here in the United States, you would get Talladega lobbies for strength of field races, and you would see some of the craziest racing that you have ever seen in your entire life. People just doing absolutely some of the dumbest and craziest stuff that you would ever see in your entire life at 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning. And I'm telling you, the strength of field racing, hopefully one day I'll be able to get back into it. Maybe one day here very, very soon. But I'm telling you, just some of the wildest stuff was in those particular races. and it was certainly a good time. But I got to give a shout out to my buddies because we were the ones that got into it. We were racing for points. Because of strength of field races, you have your divisions, and then you're racing for points, and then you get certificates. Because I got 2 right here on my wall that I won for Division 3 a couple of years ago for the trucks and Xfinity cars. And I mean, you mentioned it right there, the F1 series, and then you come over to iRacing with the flexibility and all kinds of stuff that you can do right here. It's unbelievable the kind of content that you can put out and the kind of stuff that you can do here on iRacing. It's unbelievable.
Yeah, well, I didn't know all that one. Thanks, Jacob, for that. But yeah, certainly that strength of field. That's also when you go into those competitive series, as you mentioned, because what they'll do is that they you enter sometimes as a team, a group of drivers yourself there, or if it's a solo event, usually for endurance races, you'll have a team, and then it'll work out the average I rating that you have between all your team members, and then it will place you in a particular bracket, a tier per se. And then that's what tier you will get for the event, so that they can have multiple servers, of course, all running simultaneously. They could have hundreds of servers sometimes running simultaneously, and then you'll get slotted in around those drivers in similar pace that you have with your I rating, and then that way, it's more fair. So I'm going to put you in the top tier, for example, with some of the, world's fastest drivers. You'll, it's not going to be competitive. You won't have fun. In fact, they'll probably get very annoyed when they're lapping you like multiple times. So that's the good thing about that, Well, lapping anybody, you know what I mean? But sometimes some people do that. Their I rating is not always 100% accurate, because you'd have somebody maybe sometimes have a new account or something like that, or they deliberately let their I rating drop down sometimes, and then they get put back into the let's say the lesser I rating tiers, and then they start blowing the opposition away, and then be like, well, hang on, let's just go with like a 2K I rating, driving like he's got a 10K I rating. That can happen sometimes too. But that's for single drivers. But if you're in teams, that one driver's I rating can balance things. Randy's in pit stops.
Yeah, Randy Nichols obviously in P2. He's actually shot around Jackson Wade. Something happened on the 4th place driver, Jackson Wade. So Randy Nichols, maybe texting and driving going down pit road. So might want to watch out for that right there. He may end up getting him another speeding penalty or some kind of penalty one way or another, just for texting and driving going down pit road. Dean, I got to ask you this right here as we see Randy Nichols still. I mean, even through a facial expression, he might have not liked some of the text messages that he was seeing. But Dean, I got to throw this out there to you. Obviously, this coming weekend, obviously, is for the NASCAR Championship, and it's at Phoenix. I don't know how much of NASCAR that you've been following here lately, but obviously the championship races this weekend. You got 4 drivers from the Cup Series, the Xfinity Series, and from the Truck Series, all of them racing for their respective championships. I gotta ask who your pick is as you see Jackson Wade to see. Wow, he just Dale Earnhardt it through the grass right there. I mean, just cut the corner 9 ways to Sunday. But who's your pick to win the NASCAR Cup Series championship when it comes to Sunday?
I don't even know who's in it, Jacob. I really haven't had time to even follow it. I should just, get on there on the YouTube and just watch the highlights. But I don't know, mate, because we've got so much real NASCAR, virtual NASCAR championships coming up at the moment that I'm broadcasting for. So that's what I've been more trying to get my head around on those, because I think there's about 2 series, if not 3 series, that I'm doing that are all having their championship round at a similar time. But I don't even know who's in it.
Yeah.
You have to tell me. Oh, there's a big smashed up car. That's Joshua Suss.
Well, and we talked to Cody Knott about this actually. Wow, Joshua Suss. There's the meatball flag that nobody likes to see, and obviously Joshua Suss has got it. Hell, he ain't even, the back tires ain't even rolling on that thing. He is bamboozled in the number 80. You see him right there. Obviously, he is very, very upset. I'll go on my rant here in a second, Dane. But let's see. Actually, you see him blinking his lights. Let's see what happened to the Kappa. Joshua Suss hit a wet spot, and wow, hard impact, knocked the whole rear end off of it. And other drivers trying to slide by, trying to miss him.
Man,
wow, Joshua Suss, hard impact right there on the back end of that 80 car.
Yeah, let's watch this again. That's just that little puddle there. Still dangerous, aren't they? Bang! As you said, those little landmines. You hit those marshals were brave. They didn't even step back, did they, from the tire barrier? They're just like, yeah, come on, come at me. But yeah, go back what you were saying there, Jacob.
So basically, this is what I was going to get at. And I put a little tobacco in on this one because this one may go for a second team. But, we talked to Cody Knott about it, and, obviously he gave us a little bit of freedom. But I'm not going to go completely door-banging download on this. But, I mentioned the NASCAR Cup Series Championship coming out, for the championship this coming weekend. And I may get some hate out there in the live chat. But I'm going to go for Denny Hamlin this weekend just because he deserves it. I mean, you got Denny Hamlin, you got William Byron, you got Chase Briscoe.
Yep.
And you got Kyle Larson. If it was my pick out of my favorite driver, yeah, I'm going for Young Money. I'm going for Kyle Larson just because, Kyle Larson, he is a dirt track racer on Saturday night and then can go in there and still wheel it in a NASCAR Cup Series car on Sunday and probably sweep the weekend, win the dirt track race and the Cup race on Sunday. And, but Denny Hamlin has paid his dues. He's got 60 Cup Series wins. He deserves to get the win. He deserves to win the championship just because of how long he's been there. Finally, Joshua Suss is able to make it back to the pits. But, Dean, you mentioned a point right here. You mentioned a point of you talking about that there's so many other NASCAR, virtual NASCAR championships that's coming up, and you're wanting to, keep track of those. And I know it's just probably because of broadcasting, but...
Oh, yeah.
We got beef. I've got some beef out of all of this right here, and it's not because of what you said, but I do want to go ahead and say this real quick. There's a reason why, and in my defense, I agree with you 100% because I follow more about what's going on the Monday night DSR Electric Truck Series, the Friday night Concerns of Police Survivors Truck Series, my two races with V-Speed on Tuesdays and Wednesdays, that I'm calling all the way up to Christmas. But the thing about this, and this past week, I listened to a racing broadcast, and they said it the best way possible about star power for racing, for racing in NASCAR and everything else. And, drivers not being able to be themselves. And because of sponsorships, and they're scared to death to say something, they're scared to death to do this, they're scared to death to do that. You ain't got to worry about that on iRacing. You don't have to worry about that with some of these drivers. MDW, we got him in here in the booth just a while ago. He said what he said. Adam Lichty, he's got his opinions. Adam Newton obviously has had his opinions. Jeff Merck as well. Mama Merck, Jeff Merck, the man, the myth, the legend for the Friday Night Series. He is not afraid to say what he really thinks. There's drivers on the Monday Night Series, this as well as Wesley Outland does, that say what they want, that say what's on their mind. You get more of that when you're in this right here. It's not, multi-million dollar sponsorships that's out here that's weighing these guys down. These guys right here, get on here and they pay for a subscription to come on here and race and have fun races like this, or race for points championships, all that good stuff. And I think, honestly, in my opinion, that's where more is starting to trend towards people wanting to watch this sim racing more than that. The local short tracks is really still, it's starting to pick up there. For a while, I thought it was completely dead, but it's starting to pick up more and more and more now because of the cast of characters that you got out there on the racetrack. So what you were saying a second ago, I agree with you 100% because I'm sure with those race leagues that you're talking about, there is a cast of characters in there that are, second to none. They are completely, they are a character that you're calling out there on the screen and that you're producing out there on that screen. You just don't get that in, real big time auto racing, even in the F1. They don't do it in F1. Nope. They used to do it a lot in NHRA, but they don't do it as much as they used to. So that would be my beef, my rant, I guess you could say, just because, I agree with you 100% we call these races each and every week, but at the same time, the characters, the cast of characters that you got out there on the track, they have more feel, they have more emotion. People can relate to these drivers, these real people that work a 9-to-5 job out here racing in these races. They can relate to these people more than they can somebody that's making $6, $7, $8, $10 million a year to drive a race car.
Yeah, exactly. 100% mirror your opinions, your views on that, because well, sports has become a business, as you know, across the board, and that's F1 all the way through. Drivers are obviously are very limited on what they can express and what they can do, because they're very scrutinized by the media, they're very scrutinized by their sponsors, and they gotta be good boys and good girls out there. They can't, afford to slip up like that. Otherwise, they could potentially lose, sponsors equals, millions of dollars for the team and stuff like that. So it's that. So you're starting to see, and that's in a lot of sports across the board, isn't it? You're starting to see a lot of these personality traits that they have being cut back and not expressed so much because of exactly what you just mentioned. Whereas, luckily in the esports world, in this world here, because you don't have it's not a business per se, they get to treat it like a sport and have fun with it so much, and express their anger and their love, passion, and all that sort of stuff. And as you said there, Jacob, it's that same situation. It's sports in real life has become very business orientated, and of course, and business equals money and board of directors. And there's a spin up the road there. Pressure at the moment. Randy's gone off the track, and that might have cost him that position. It has cost him that position to Jackson Wade. He was hunting him down there, as you could see on that little ticker at the bottom there. He was gaining about half a second a lap on that one. Now it's got a roll in reverse. The predator becomes the prey. And this time around, the prey's become the predator. So that'll be interesting. But yeah, on that, Dan Jacob, yep, I completely agree with you on that one, my friend. But do you agree on the fact that sports has become a business?
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. I think that's exactly what it is. Is you see, just overdriving 9 ways to Sunday. Some of these drivers, Randy Nichols was overdriving right there, holding up here turn. But yeah, I mean, Dean, I agree with you 100% on that as well. That sports is straight up turning into a business 9 ways to Sunday, because these athletes, I mean, they are athletes. Don't get me wrong.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, they are athletes. They are able to, in baseball, go out there and throw a 100-mile-per-hour fastball that none of us is able to do, unlike some of the other, cast of characters that they got on these teams. You got guys that can, throw a 15-yard pass on a dime to the receiver and hit them dead right in the hands, dead in the chest, and get that. Basketball, just hit three-pointers left and right. I mean, race it. NASCAR, come out here and drive 200-mile-per-hour race cars around the racetrack and everything. Now, granted, sure, are these races or are these sports, full contact? Can you get hurt, and can it hurt you and possibly end your career and put you, in early retirement and disabled and everything else? Sure, we've seen it a lot of times in football, where, concussions, have crept in, and people have gotten hurt and have, career-ending injuries and all that stuff. Yeah, I get that, but here's the point I'm trying to make. I agree with the point or with the business part of it, because I saw it today. When I was on my lunch break. I saw it today. That Micah Parsons guy that plays for the Green Bay Packers, this old boy is making $46 million a year to play football. I guarantee you right now, he has completely got it completely out of his mind when he was a kid, on how he started himself and how he started up throughout his career back when he was playing Pee-wee football. I mean, he'll say he didn't forget it, but I guarantee you he wasn't thinking about that when the contract negotiations was going on at first with the Dallas Cowboys, and then he got traded and went to the Green Bay Packers, or however that worked out. I don't follow the NFL that much. The point I'm trying to make is, yes, it is all about the money. nowadays. It's all about the money. It's the economy, if you want to put it that way, or what have you. I'm not going to go into that. That's a whole different can of worms to open up. But it is all about a business. It's all about how much are you going to pay me to come out here and run this football? How much are you going to pay me to drive this race car? How much are you going to pay me to throw that baseball, to throw that football? Whatever. To hit this tennis ball and this disc racket, to kick this soccer ball. It's all about how much are you going to pay me. It's not about how much I love this sport or how much I love this anymore. It's not about that. And we've seen it, and also, and not only on that, but, with ticket sales going up, because the ticket sales got to go up because they got to pay the players for all that stuff. I mean, it is turning into a business so much that it's getting to the point to where, granted, it may be turning people off to watch certain sports. They need to get it away from a business side of things and get it back to what you love the most. Why you are doing this, because you love it, not because you're getting paid $50 million to sack the damn quarterback. It's about you loving what you do to go and sack that quarterback. Now, granted, should they get paid a lot of money? Yeah. They should. I agree with that 100%. But not how much not how much that it is right now, because the numbers has gotten absolutely crazy. I know Juan Soto, that baseball player that plays for the New York Mets. I mean, what was it, $700 and something million for like 10 years? Why? I mean, that is outrageous to hit a baseball. I mean, is it good? Sure, but it is completely crazy as you see Roger Daubel going for another spin. I mean, but then we might have got off the rails here just a little bit. We might have, but I've had that on my mind for quite some time. I mean, yes, sports is just straight up turned into a straight up business aspect, and it's very, very sad as a longtime sports fan to see what it's come to.
Yeah, and that's across all the sports as well, too. Like, exactly. I was just watching something on YouTube the other day about, I think, some old school sports. Oh, you can see Jackson Wade, because he's pushing at the moment to keep Randy behind. There's Randy. So he could perhaps, that's a slowdown. That's going to bring Randy into play here at the moment. So Jackson Wade is under that pressure that exactly he had applied a handful of laps earlier back to Randy. So this is the closest battle that we're focusing as well too. Going back to that, I saw his old school, I think it was even basketball and stuff like that. They were going, wow, all these guys today, they fly like private jets and stuff. Like, we were flying commercial back in the day, We had cheap hotel rooms, and we had drive sometimes on buses and things like that to go to events, and a lot less money. But they're still getting good money, of course, back then. But they're just sitting there going, and then most of them are saying, they don't argue so much. They go, well, they deserve it. These drivers, they deserve the multi-million-dollar contracts that they had. But these guys were saying, we never had that. We did earn some good money, but it's just they didn't have any of the luxuries that these drivers have today. And of course, all those luxuries, what happens to all that? It increases the old value of the team. The team becomes a business once again, and then that reflects back onto to the consumer, like us that enjoy the sports, to go see them. What happens? All those prices increase because it's a business. They want to make more money, and it just reflects like that. And you said, and what are you gonna? It's hard to say to a player as well too. Okay, well, if you don't care about the money, just take a smaller contract. Their agents are going to go, no, don't do that, don't do that.
Yeah,
and other players get upset about it too, because they're like, hang on. If you start reducing your fees for playing, then they're going to look at us and go, well, if this guy's better than you and he's on half the money value, you're going to probably be the most hated guy in the league. So that's also a difficult one to do because but the money's overinflated, no doubt for sure. But once again, 6 to 1, half a dozen to another on how that situation can be dealt with, and it happens. It's happening in all sports. And who knows? I don't really know. I'm not a sports analyst to study and see what possible outcome you could do to stop this from spiraling out of control with businesses and sport.
I think it's already spiraled out of control, if you want my honest opinion on it, Dean. It really has spiraled out of control, and it's only going to get worse as time goes on. We're taking a break. Randy Nichols, you see him right here, trying to run down Jackson Wade about a second and a half, and we're going to take a quick commercial break. Bring you right back here at Daytona. Don't go anywhere.
Craftsmanship that lasts a lifetime is Florida Cabinet Distributors. With over 20 years in business and 39 years of woodmaking experience, they proudly serve Northeast Florida to Southeast Georgia, delivering custom woodwork that combines precision, beauty, and durability. Whether you're dreaming of a custom kitchen, bathroom vanity, fireplace and mantel, entertainment center, outdoor kitchen, or even a full library, we can build it at Florida Cabinet Distributors, exactly the way that you envision. Hey, no project is too big or too small. If it's made of wood, Florida Cabinet Distributors can make it. Call or text Steve today. Yes, they gave us his personal cell number, 904-874-3442. That's 904-874-3442 to book today. Florida Cabinet Distributors, craftsmanship that lasts a lifetime.
For Murph's Magical Creations, home to custom laser engraving and gifts. This veteran-owned and operated company engraves for all occasions. If you want one of Murph's Magical Creations, call the number on your screen or commission through either Instagram or via email. Murph's Magical Creations, made with love for you.
We're back here at Daytona. The only thing that really changed was the gap between Randy Nichols and Jackson Wade. Closest battle on the racetrack. They worked their way through the S's down into the International Horseshoe. Randy Nichols kind of starting to wear out Jackson Wade right here. Wade looked like he was going to be in prime position to kind of pull away and get this second place spot, but hour 44 minutes into the 2.5-hour session, Jackson Wade, maybe, what do you think, Dean? Maybe the endurance factor starting to kick in for Jackson Wade right here?
It's possible. It's also very difficult when you got these headlights in your mirrors. Sometimes what you'd say to a driver, if you feel that driver behind you is a bit quicker, you might just go, I'll allow you through and I'll just follow you and I'll put the pressure on you. It's mentally exhausting at night time. These drivers have been in this cockpit for a good, almost 2 hours, 15 minutes shy to 2 hours. They've still got another 44 minutes to go. I think they still have another pit stop to go as well too. That's going to be in the back of their mind. So if I was like a Randy, if I don't feel that Jackson Wade's holding me up too much, just sit there and chase him and put the pressure on Jackson Wade. So maybe force him into a mistake. You also got to be careful too, Jacob. When you've been following a car for so long in endurance racing like this, you can tend to, if he makes a mistake, you tend to follow them into their mistake too. So that can also be another issue. There's a lot at play. He's got a fuel. Oh no, that's not a fuel low. We don't get that information actually. I was going to say on his dashboard there, but yeah, those are those factors. But concentration levels are through the roof, especially when you're battling with somebody. Do you go for it? You're too soon. As I said, 43 minutes. You don't need to battle like it's the last 10 laps of the race or something like that, 10 minutes of the race. And knowing you've still got a pit stop, You're wondering at this point, too, if Randy can actually fuel save here, too, because sometimes if you're in the slipstream of a car, you can actually save just a little bit. So he may be able to stay out a couple more laps and then put some, empty the gas tank, put some super fast laps on, and then jump into the pit lane. That's a possibility that you do it. But he's looks like might be sending it up the inside here, Jacob, and contact. He's readjusting.
Oh my goodness, Randy Nichols!
He's readjusting
wow.
it. Yeah, he lifted off and said, "My bad." That's the sportsman thing to do. I think he realized there was kind of a gap there. As such, bit risky. Wouldn't need to necessarily do it. But maybe it's just Jackson Wade also could have been a little bit too slow in the corner there, and Randy kind of had nowhere to go. But you can see clearly he puts his hand up and says, "My bad." Of course, one thing we're talking about before with real race car drivers, they're not allowed to, by the teams and the sponsors and the business, and they're not allowed to say, "My bad." They're basically get on the radio and go, "He hit me. Why did he do that? It's his fault." Or he's passed the blame on somebody else. But we don't have that. We got sportsmanship here.
Yeah, I mean, and eventually it ends up being a boxing ring after it's all said and done, especially when they spread them out, because 9 times out of 10, Dean, they're not going to do exactly like what Randy Nichols did right there. They'll just spread them out, and they'll just carry on their merry way and just carry on. I mean, that's what they do. Is Randy, he may not be thinking about that 43 minutes. He is wearing him out. He wants this second spot from Jackson Wade. Still plenty of time left on the clock, but Randy wanting to try to get ahead of him. And think about it like this, Dean. Randy obviously showing that he is faster than Jackson Wade. He showed the nose a couple of times. Honestly, if I was Randy Nichols, I'd be blinking them lights like crazy. I would try to throw him off any way that I could. There's not a rule against that. As far as I know, there's not a rule against that.
Not in this league,
he
but
can go
I've
in
seen it
there,
in other leagues.
blink the lights.
I've actually seen a penalty for blinking too much.
Yeah.
But not
Blink them lights, try to screw him up one way or another, any way that he possibly can, to try to get that spot or whatever you got to do. But certainly, if you think about it like this, Dean, Randy may want to try to hurry up and get by him, because obviously he is showing that he is the faster car. Get around Jackson Wade and try to check out, and then that way, if he does slip up or screw up one way or another, he's got a little bit of room. If he screws up, he's got room to be able to try to gather it back up and try to stay in front of Jackson Wade.
I don't know. We'll see, because there's the slipstream then. He will lift off, obviously, into the bus stop chicane here. And we'll see if the situation will be in turn 1, because this is where you're going to get a slipstream here. And he should be able to get right onto the bumper there of the Mercedes. They're both in the Mercedes here at the moment, so they're an even Stevens of car performance. It will be interesting. Now, they both have got to be thinking about P2, really, that's it, because unless MDW makes any crazy mistakes, he's got this one in the bag. These guys are just battling for the second and third step, the podium. Now, he's going to lift off. He's got to be very careful. There's puddles there as well, too. You would probably do that in the dry line, and there's the puddles on the outside.
You saw his eyes right there. They just lit up right there. His eyes just lit up like a Christmas tree on Christmas morning, knowing that he just completely blew that right there. And that half a second turns into 9 seconds behind Jackson Wade. So he is definitely going to have to definitely have to try to figure something out and try to get back to him. But still plenty of time, though, Dean.
Yeah, there is. It took him a good, 10 plus to almost 20 laps or whatever to really get up there and battle. Remember, they both had that situation too. Jackson Wade made a mistake, and then Randy got back into it, and vice versa. But that's the kind of thing that I'm thinking about endurance racing. Like, you don't necessarily need to overtake. If you were looking to chase down MDW, yes, but there's not enough time for him to chase down MDW. Of course, we don't know if MDW can make a mistake as well too, and then all of a sudden you're battling out for P1. But it's a fuel situation, as I said. I just thinking too much like a race engineer when I used to race engineer some drivers for endurance races like that. And we're talking 24-hour ones too, so you'd have a couple of the other drivers in there and the spotters, and you'd be kind of. I've had real life engineers as well too on the horn there to the drivers and going, and their drivers like, hey, should I overtake them? They go, no. You sit back for a little bit. You're good in your lap times, and then overall looking at all the strategies as the cars are around them. Maybe, as I said, Randy could get it done on the pit stops. Not as entertaining. Well, that's a situation. We don't know. That man knows. But we're not going to pull him in and chat about it because he's very focused on one of the closest battles that we do have at the moment with Jacob.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. I mean, but, we'll see how this ends up working out for Randy Nichols, see if he's able to try to reel back in Jackson Wade one way or another. Is for the moment, everything kind of spread out, and you see Jackson Wade maybe getting a little bit extra on the gas pedal. Dean, I've talked about it before with these races that over time, every single race that I've talked about is you see Roger Diebold having more issues here tonight. But this place, the same way as you see Diebold, let's see kind of what happens to him, see what maybe made it all go downhill. He takes the Earnhardt line, literally just cuts it right through the grass and just makes it through there. Granted, got grass on the tires, and obviously will affect the grip on his car, on his number one car. Is actually he's going to go down pit road, lock it up, try not to hit the wet spots going in. But back to what I was saying about the grip and everything, Dean. As well as I do. I've said it numerous times about cracking that egg on the pedal, and obviously with the wet surface out there, it is crucial on the cracking the egg part. If it wasn't wet out here and it was just a regular track, you might not worry about it too much. You'd still be really wanting to have that throttle management. But even with the wet surfaces out here, which I would say, you still got damp spots out here, and there still is wet spots out there on the track. But certainly you think more about that throttle management more and more and more as the race goes on, especially like I said, you got wet spots going in the pits. There's still wet spots right there on the bottom right here going into turn one. There's still wet spots around the racetrack, but for the most part, some of them's actually cleared up, but still you don't want to crack that egg, even here in these GT3 cars.
Nope, not at all. And have a look at this too. Black flag there for Buzzy. Don't see any damage there. He might have been caught on a serious off-track excursion or something. How's this? Now MDW is about to come up to Jackson Wade. He's in that P2 position. He's lapped everybody but Jackson Wade up in the moment P2. So that's how much. Literally MDW will have a full lap ahead of everybody, going in about 36 minutes. Still expecting a pit stop for these drivers because we saw that it was about give or take anywhere between 30 to 40 minutes on a tank of gasoline, and now with about 35 minutes left, I don't think they got enough to stretch it there, so I expect MDW to come back in. That could have been that last pit stop that we saw from Diebold, so he might be good to go to the end in that P6 position now. Might be able to get his head down and get a couple of positions, especially if Buzzy has to serve a black flag penalty. But here you go. It's a situation. Look at the way MDW just chucks it in the corner, and it sticks there in the BMW.
Yeah, a lot of that has to do with confidence, obviously. He talked about it a while ago with just, the experience that he's got in his GT3 cars and just road course racing in general. He loves road course racing so much that obviously there is a level of experience that plays factor into this, Dean. So, just having that experience, having the confidence to go in there, like you said, chuck it in there and make it stick and, be able to pull that off. Definitely is one of the factors. You see Buzzy Mongold now working his way out of the pits. Still about as red as the wall back there, and as well and as red as the Nordschleife logo that he's got back there in the back. And Buzzy Mongold still soldiering on. And with his issues tonight, still sitting in P6. And mind you, Dean, with the payouts on this, because everybody, everybody's getting a little bit of payouts out of this. So, that's the big key out of this, is everybody's getting, well, if you finish top three, you're getting a little bit of cash out of this. So obviously there's a little bit of money that's going to be paid out to the podium finishers. And then obviously you got the other stuff right here for the fastest lap and the least incident points. That's going to be a fun one right there. That's going to be a fun one to try to figure out who's got the least amount of incident points here tonight. So, and then also, every 15X they get, they got to do a drive-through penalty. I mean, just so many rules that they've got right here. But I mean, first, obviously, we can pretty much give that to MDW. He's pretty much got that locked up. Fast slap, I'd say Wood's probably got it. That least incident points for that $5 right there, that's going to be something that, honestly, I ain't got a freaking clue who's got that one right there because, I mean, everybody's had an incident here this evening.
Yeah, I don't know myself as well, too. That is, at the moment, Joshua Suss getting the slipstream there from MDW, giving the slipstream to MDW so he can get up the road there and catch Jackson Wade. So he wants to put a lap on Jackson Wade just to, never a good feeling for a driver to get lapped by a leader. But MDW is like, I'm going to teach you old fellas some new tricks, some young tricks from the young man himself. So who is sweaty out there that we heard before when we pulled him in for a chat? He'll be even more sweaty now, mate. I mean, 2 hours into this race, getting shy of now down to the last 30 minutes, you'll be definitely sweating. Remember, too, these drivers just don't, you can't like a normal game, can you? Just hit the pause button, get up and go, I have to take a stretch, got to go to the bathroom. You're stuck in that cockpit for that period of time. And you can see the full retirements of Newman, Knott, Shane Scott, and Adam as well. Those drivers all retired a little bit a while ago. I'm seeing in the chat too that Buzzy was in the chat with Cody, but he's jumped up into the Blue Lights Racing chat with the rest of the remaining drivers as Luke Smith goes into the pit lane, perhaps for the final time tonight for the Blue Line Racing Kermit the Frog entry.
Yeah, I mean, and obviously you see him right there. He's got a black flag as well. Maybe had to jump down pit road to serve that. Might have had too many incident points. Might have got busted on that.
I'd say for sure, yeah. Because I'm not.
Yeah, I'd say that's. I say that's a lot. Do it, Dean. I mean, we were talking about the least incident points, and all that stuff. I mean, how would they have played that out if, like, say, you just started dead last, you went out there, you pulled a lap, and then parked it in the pits? You would have 0 incident points, wouldn't you? You would have 0 incident points.
Finish the race with the least incident points, not yeah. Because obviously that
wasn't clarified enough in the rules.
Oh.
So, Dean, I mean, you got to think about that. That was not clarified in the rules on that one. That could have been the easiest $5 that honestly you could have ever made, was to go out there, do one lap, make sure it's on the racetrack, pull it straight in the pits, and then you get your $5 out of it, and then you would be set. But I agree, Dean. I would say that it would be out of the drivers that finished the race, but the rules wasn't completely 100% clear on that. They were a little bit vague, I guess. I might have opened a can of worms on that one right there. Not
Jacob's
even made
like
it happen.
one of those lawyers that finds the loophole in the law. Okay, all right, here we go.
That's a hell of a loophole if you want to think about it. I mean, seriously. I mean, there is a loophole there. One thing I do want to mention.
Lawyer firm. Contact him now.
Yeah, absolutely.
The redneck lawyers, we got you.
Yeah, but seriously, 1-800-REDNECK. There you go, right there. Look, I mean, try to put the numbers together. It literally lines up just like a phone number would be. 1-800-REDNECK. It would be absolutely crazy. But one thing I was wanting to talk about was Randy Nichols, and we talked about him a while ago. He was about 9 seconds behind Jackson Wade when he got that car started back up and got it back going. And you see MDW right here. He's right behind Jackson Wade right now. Wood, if he was to pass Jackson Wade, which he's fixing to right now, that is every single driver is one lap down on the racetrack. Here's the funny thing about every bit of this right here. You see Jackson Wade, there goes Randy Nichols. Nichols had it down to 7 seconds. At one point, it was around 9-10 seconds. So he made up 3 seconds on the racetrack. So Nichols has actually played a little bit different gap. Whoa, Nichols, I think he might have spun it going through the first turn.
Ooh.
He was able to straighten it back out, though. Boy, he got super loose. I thought he lost it, but was able to save it. Actually, now he's got a black flag, so maybe incident points now for the 69 of Randy Nichols. But I was just sitting there just watching that the interval between him and Jackson Wade. But now with that black flag, I think his spot or his chance at second place might have just went down the toilet.
Well, now he's got to put some banker laps in. Exactly. This is the situation because Randy's going to have to come in the pit road as well, as MDW will. So they've done 3 pit stops for Randy. He'll need one more. Jackson Wade's going to get his last pit stop out. He'll come back out there in that P3 position. And while Jackson Wade gets tire up and gets up to temperature into the speed, this is where Randy, who should be running this car on empty right now, you've got to put banker lap after banker lap after banker lap, because it could come down to him jumping potentially in pit road, because you saw that gap was getting down, as you said, to about 7 seconds or something like that as Luke Smith goes in for his final pit stop, we would assume, here tonight, pending they don't get any damage already of off-track excursions after serve a penalty. So we'll keep an eye on those lap times at the moment too, the last lap times that Randy's going to be doing here at the moment. He's just got a personal best on that last lap, but he's got a black flag. He's had too many incident points. That's going to be super punishing. He's going to have to serve this to pit lane. Would you come down now? MBW is down for his final time. I think this is going to hand the spot over to Jackson Wade, mate, for P2.
Yeah, I mean, and honestly, when he comes down, he gets his 4 freshies and fills it up full of fuel to make it all the way to the end. Odds are, like you said, getting the tires, getting the gas, and then obviously having to serve the black flag, it's going to pretty much put him in a big-time hole. Actually, he just said, screw it, I'm not even going to get the gas and tires.
He can't get tires. I don't think you can get them if you've got a black flag. That's what I thought. He has to come back and serve it again. He will get that black flag cleared, but he didn't do his pit stop. So he still will need, I believe he'll have to. His last pit stop was lap 46. So I believe he's going to have to come down again for gasoline, mate.
Yeah, I think so as well. A good point on that one is that is the man of the hour. And basically, he's just got to run another 28 minutes and not screw it up. And he will win the Florida Cabinet Distributors endurance race here tonight at Daytona. That is Matthew David Wood, the weatherman, MDW, however you want to look at it. Wood really putting on a clinic here tonight. There is Randy Nichols. There is Buzzy Mongold. Down pit road, getting his service, getting himself lined up as well.
He came off somewhere on the track there on lap 65 here. So, that's I might have to rewind that one. That's a hard lick into the fence, and that's the reason why he's down there getting the damage fixed. Has he hit that puddle? Hit the puddle. There it is. There's your landmine.
That whole entrance to pit road's been a landmine tonight, honestly, Dave. I mean, every single driver that we have seen that's went down pit road has had some type of issue, either hitting the wet spot, they slide up and they get into the wall, knock the whole front end off of it. Something happens to them one way or another. But let's see what happens right here with Randy Nichols. Is obviously there he goes. He's going to come down pit road. Got to be careful. Don't want to get caught speeding. Be careful. Don't get you a black flag right here, because he's going to need all the help that he can get right here on pit road, Dean. He's going to need every bit of it to have a shot to try to battle right here with Jackson Wade to be able to have a shot. Here you see Jackson Wade working his way through 3 and 4. Nichols just now into the pits.
Yeah. Jackson Wade's got this one.
Wade is just absolutely gassing it up and just absolutely going right here. So odds are pretty much it's going to be a bad spot right here because Wade is going to drive right by him. Nichols still in the pits. Wade's going to shoot right through turn 1 and straight up be gone as Nichols is actually coming out of the pits now. What will the time gap be? Oh, yeah, it's going to be a big-time hole that Randy Nichols is really going to have to find some speed right here in these next 25 minutes, or he's going to be in some deep, deep trouble.
Yeah, it was very unfortunate. That black flag, I was hoping if that black flag wasn't there, it was going to be close between these two. It was going to be close. That's the difference that black flag drive-through makes at the moment. You can see 13, probably even a little bit more, actually, which indicates to me that maybe Randy would have had a few seconds actually on Jackson Wade if he didn't have that drive-through. So that is it would have been nice close. Well, let's see whether or not Randy, who's 14 seconds, but you can make up 14 seconds in 24 minutes left in this race. But now, because these drivers are so comfortable with this track, you can see those puddles, most of them are gone. We do know where the notorious puddles are, but they're not making those mistakes. I guess 70 laps later, you start to get to know the track like the back of your hand. It'll be interesting to see now that they can push, and not make any critical errors.
Yeah, absolutely. And Jackson Wade able to shoot right through the bus stop, no problem at all. Randy Nichols about 15 seconds back from Jackson Wade. He is going to be right up, straight up. He's going to have to get it moving very, very fast.
I wanted
and
to
at least,
ask sorry.
Go ahead.
I wanted to ask you before I forget, because I was going to ask you before. Shall we pull Kermit the Frog in here at the moment for a chat? Do you want to pull the old Kermit in? He's well, Roger Diebold's just had a moment off track, but Kermit's he's going to be in a little lonely fourth, I believe, at the moment there, because Buzzy Diebold's just had a moment. Let's have a look.
Let's see what happened to old Roger Diebold. You said he had a moment, obviously going through the International Horseshoe. Let's see what the one does right here. Flips it around, loses it. Thought for a second he might try to drive it backwards, but then he's got oncoming traffic coming. Buzzy Mongold almost tagged him and went head on with Roger Diebold, but Diebold able to get it back straight, get it in the grass, and then hit the gas and carry back on. But you mentioned Kermit the Frog.
Up to you.
Let's bring him in here, but
right.
but you know,
What?
yeah, but you know, we'll see how this works out right here. Why not? I mean, you know, let's talk to some of these drivers.
likes to have
I mean,
a
they've
chat.
been racing for 2 straight hours. They've been racing for 2 straight hours. I'm sure they would love to talk to us one way or another. Maybe not. They may end up telling us to, you know, get the hell out of here one way or another.
We'll ask him kindly.
Yeah, let's see what he says. If he says no,
then forgive. Better to ask for forgive. What is it? Better to beg for forgiveness than permission, something like that. All right, here we go.
That's one way to look at it. Why not?
Yeah.
Hey, Luke Smith, buddy, you got a copy?
Yes, sir.
You got time to talk, or are you too zoned in trying to figure it out?
I wouldn't say zoned in. I mean, I've wrecked this thing like 14 times now. I don't know.
Luke, how hard is it out there to drive with all these puddles out there, bud?
I mean, it's not easy. I can tell you that much. I'd say I've probably found about every puddle that's on the track, and you know, I just keep letting Roger know, and then Roger goes and finds the same puddle and spins her out. And Josh, right here in front of me, is probably about to catch another puddle and let me know where it's at.
Yeah, we'll let you focus on this battle for a second, actually. We won't interrupt you too much because it's as he's.
Give him a minute right here. We'll see what he's thinking. I mean, he's blinking his lights. Josh, get the heck out of the way. What are you doing? Oh, boy. Oh, this is going to get good. Oh, come on,
not
get
for
in there.
position,
Get in there.
remember, too. That's
He's able
just
to
putting a
make
lap
it. Yeah.
down.
Yeah, but still, I mean, you know, you want to make sure that you don't end up getting yourself in a bad spot. Because Roger Diebold's back there, too. Yeah, everybody blinking lights, everybody having fun about it. Luke, I want to ask you about this. Obviously, this is not the truck series on the Monday nights or the Friday nights or what have you. But if anything, if there's anything that you can take from running in this 2.5-hour endurance race and apply it, I mean, is there anything that you can apply to the truck series when we go to road courses on the Friday night series and on the Monday night series?
I don't know if necessarily there's anything that I can apply to road courses. I mean, the one thing that I can definitely say that it can help with is just perseverance. Like, you know, in these things, you spin out, you can hop right back on the track and you can go absolutely nuts and just go right back to what you're doing. And, you know, it's just about fighting through it. And, like, I know that Monday I ran into a crappy situation where somebody went to slow down, and I guess they didn't understand that when they hit the brakes at a short track like Rockingham, the truck turns left, and they didn't control it. But, you know, it'll just help me be better in those situations where you kind of got to push through things and, you know, deal with crappy ends of the stick and just keep fighting through it because you never know what can happen.
I got a question too, Luke. I believe that you are still due to go down to pit road. Actually, no, you did. You got enough gas to go to the end, don't you? Yeah.
I have enough fuel to make it to the end of this.
You do. Okay. Yep. Okay. I figured because you went on lap 66 for your last pit stop. But you've actually taken one less, yourself actually, believe it or not, and MDW taken one less pit stop than everybody else, essentially. So that's, this is what I was telling about Jacob at the top of the hour about how in endurance races, if you potentially do a bit of fuel saving or something, you can save yourself one extra pit stop. It looks like you've probably done. Maybe not with fuel saving, but maybe because a few other drivers have been down there on the damage clock. Do you have any fast repairs left?
Yes, I have 2 of them because even though I've spun a bunch of times, I've managed to keep it off for any wall, all but one time where I went to pit and I didn't realize that the apron down there was wet and probably went spinning at about 170.
Good Lord. Well, I'll say this. You're able to hold on to those fast repairs. I don't want to put you in a bad spot or nothing, but you can't take them home with you. Not saying to burn them. I'm just saying, at least you got something to kind of roll with and maybe have something to happen, as we see Roger Diebold may have had another issue out there. But Luke, buddy, appreciate your time. Good luck the rest of the race. Try to keep her straight.
Thank you.
What do you mean?
There you see Roger Diebold spinning it around in turn 1.
He's back.
And, wow.
Yeah, poor Roger.
Able to try to straighten it back out. That's
Roger,
rough, man.
I don't know. It's a tough one. Buzzy, Roger, who's at the most spins in this race, you'd have to say. It's good that they're still out there, no doubt. Joshua Suss has been around a couple of times. Kermit, that you mentioned there, Kermit DeFrog, Luke Smith, is he's in there for that P4. It's difficult to see he's a minute and change down the road actually from Randy. What he would be hoping for is a situation with 17 minutes to go that Randy catches Jackson, they get into each other, and they're forced down a pit road to take a fast repair, and then Kermit could potentially get up there and steal a podium position. But that's probably about the best he could hope for, because even if he get out there and did MDW lap times, it still wouldn't get him up to the back of him.
I don't think so neither. I mean, and Randy Nichols has cut out to about cut a second off of Jackson Wade, but he's going to have to really pick it up a lot faster than what he has been doing so far. So if Randy Nichols wants to have a shot at Jackson Wade, he better gas up and he better get gone and try to make something happen. You see right there on how everything is kind of looking. Wade actually a half a second faster that time around.
I don't know why my lap counter's a bit
what
funny.
Happens right here. Actually, the lap counter is actually way
it's like
off.
A slot machine that the reel's going a little funny on, but hey, that's the first time I've seen that. So I'll have to find out.
It's like a rigged slot machine is what it looks like. I mean, honestly, it is rigged for the casino to try to win this sucker.
777, mate.
One way or another. Yeah, 777. Yeah, they're trying to rig it and try to mess you up, I guess, one way or another. But
he's coming thick and fast. Boy. You can see at the moment. So it's 12 point. It's getting it to 12 soon. Randy's flying. This is his last chance that he knows for 15 minutes because they've done their pit stops now to the end. So he's got no reliance on that. They got to be careful of those off tracks. You can see 7/10 taken out there at the moment. So it's just shy on 12 seconds. Now let's figure that out there, Jacob. You want to do a better math. You get a nice little slingshot at the moment there, I think, from Buzzy, if I'm not mistaken, on the outside. Tucks in.
I mean, he tries to use every little bit of advantage that he can. Honestly, Dave, I mean, you use every bit that you can. Try to draft off other drivers. Next driver is going to catch is Roger Diebold. And like you said, hit that slipstream, especially on these straightaways or in the corners or what have you. Actually, Diebold's not really going to help him out that much, but he'll still be able to gas up, get around him, and then he'll have clean track in front of him. And already knocked it down to under 12 seconds. Got about 15 minutes left in the session. So he's going to have to do at least about a second a lap if he wants to have any shot at trying to catch Jackson Wade right here and be able to go for P2. But odds are he's probably got P3 in the books. And Jackson Wade, unless something crazy happens with one of these drivers, 1, 2, 3 probably should be lined up. And what you see him may end up being your final results here for this evening. We got about 15 minutes left to go. Take one more quick commercial break. We'll bring you back for the finish for the last 15 minutes of the Florida Cabinet Distributors Endurance Race here tonight in Daytona. We're back here in a bit.
Craftsmanship that lasts a lifetime is Florida Cabinet Distributors. With over 20 years in business and 39 years of woodmaking experience, they proudly serve Northeast Florida to Southeast Georgia, delivering custom woodwork that combines precision, beauty, and durability. Whether you're dreaming of a custom kitchen, bathroom vanity, fireplace and mantel, entertainment center, outdoor kitchen, or even a full library, we can build it at Florida Cabinet Distributors, exactly the way that you envision. Hey, no project is too big or too small. If it's made of wood, Florida Cabinet Distributors can make it. Call or text Steve today. Yes, they gave us his personal cell number, 904-874-3442. That's 904-874-3442 to book today.
We're back here at Daytona. Boy, that gap has straight up cut into it in a hurry. Randy Nichols must have heard me right before we went to that commercial break. He is starting to cut into that gap on Jackson Wade. You see the gap, but obviously, like I said, Dean, he needs to cut into it a little bit more than what he's doing, but he's certainly trying something. Roger Dabo, good Lord have mercy. Wow. Pull back in, not completely off of that number one machine. I don't know how many faster pairs he's got, but he may be done for the evening.
Yeah, you want it, but he's so close to the finish line now, aren't you? You just hope that he can get that fixed up, but he's on the meatball, so he's got a lot of damage to do. He might be completely out of those fast repairs as well too. So, but I would hope he can finish it. He's still not last, believe it or not. Joshua Stas is still out there, but a lap down. But I'm sure Joshua will get that P6 position coming. 10 seconds is the gap currently at the moment between Jackson Wade and Randy. So not quite thinking 10 minutes to go is not enough time. He has to be shaving about at least a second or more per lap off Jackson. And that's one thing just to catch him. Number two, you've got to get an overtake done at that point once you catch up. So don't really have time, I don't think, for Randy. He's just got to, at the moment, just keep putting that pressure on so that he can get into the ear of Jackson Wade's spotter and say, he's coming quicker, he's getting quicker, he's getting quicker. And Jackson Wade's just got to be like, how much quicker is he getting? Is there enough time? That's what you got to be thinking.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you know, if Randy can actually start putting down some laps right here, possibility you may be able to catch him. Jackson Wade screws up, that will absolutely help out the 69's advantage to jump up here and get into the mix and try to make something happen. Dean, real quick, I mean, I know we're coming up with about 10 minutes left in this race, but I do want to bring a driver in. I know he's out there racing. Hopefully we don't screw him up or nothing. Mm-hmm. But the man that put all this on, Joshua Sust, I feel like we might, you know, it wouldn't be a bad idea to bring in the Coppa, Joshua Sust, and you know, and talk to him. And Josh, buddy, I don't want to screw you up or nothing. I don't want to blow you. Wow. Or well, not that way. Let's not. Whoa, wait a minute. Edit that out. That ain't what I meant to say. I don't want to, you know, blow your eardrums out and screw you up is what I meant to say. But Josh, buddy, I mean, obviously, I mean, what a race here tonight. I mean, 2.5 hours, Daytona endurance racing, GT3s. I mean, talk to us about how this all come together. I mean, you know, if we're going to end up screwing you up, we'll let you go back down there. But I mean,
no, you're fine. You're fine.
But just, I mean, talk us through. I mean, how this all come about.
I know I and a couple other guys have always wanted to have some GT racing. There's a lot of guys that are really big in like the 12 hours of Sebring, the 24 hours of Daytona. So I figured we had an off week. We'll give it a shot. I'll probably try to do it once a month. I was talking to MDW. He has like 10 friends that he knows would do it if I'd open it outside of NASRA. So probably going to see about making its own Discord and try to do this at least once a month on one of our nights off and just give some guys some fun stuff to do. I mean, it's free, so would probably definitely limit it down to 2 hours, though. 2.5, I think, was just a little too long.
Well, yeah. If you want my honest opinion on it, but yeah, I mean, Josh, I mean, do you feel like, I mean, granted, get some more people into it throughout, outside of NASRA and everything, but do you feel like even though, with everything that's been out, do you feel like that the goal was accomplished here tonight with the Florida Cabinet Distributors endurance race here this evening?
I do, because part of it too was I wanted to finally do something in Dean's wheelhouse.
Yes.
Because we did something last week, and it was just a little practice Dover race. And I was like, I'm not going to worry about broadcasting it. But then when I said I was going to do this, I told Cody, I was like, ask Dean if he wants to do it. It's finally his wheelhouse. I'm sure he'll have fun. And it's a way for us to get back to him.
Well, I appreciate that, Josh. Thank you very much. Yeah. Yeah.
No problem.
Dean's over there blushing now. You got him up here blushing up here in the broadcast booth. He's blushed a couple of times up here in the broadcast booth, I think, here this evening. But Josh, buddy, I mean, you got anybody that you want to thank, any shout outs or anything here tonight?
I'd like to shout out, obviously, Brady and Cody for allowing me to use the NASRA name to do this. I'll have some conversations with them tonight and tomorrow about doing this in the future, and if it draws enough attention, maybe doing a league on it. I'd like to do a multi-class with 2 different classes, but my dad for sponsoring it, like always. His company is the Florida Cabinet Distributors, Murph's Magical Creations, C.O.P.S, all our normal sponsors. They're huge to making the league on what they are, and we hope they stick around for a long time. And of course, you guys, because you guys always make things fun, even when we're down to 6 cars and spread out. It's still a blast.
It's been an entertaining broadcast for sure. I'm sure. I hope you love it, and I hope everybody loves it as well. Josh, buddy, appreciate your time. Good luck in the last 6 minutes of the race.
All righty.
That was Joshua Sesta Kappa here with NASRA. Good to have him. And Dean, I mean, you got to give him props out of this because he put this together. If he doesn't finish this damn race, I mean, it's literally, I mean, it's a bad deal for everybody. I mean, he's got to be able to finish this race for it to make sense, I guess you could say. You know what I mean, Dean?
Yeah, exactly. That's the one thing you always want to try to do in endurance races, as I kind of said at the top. You want to see the checkered flag. You're battling with the track more than you ever are battling so much with the cars. You're battling with the clock. And at the end of the day, too, you want to see the checkered flag because, unfortunately, Diebold had to retire. I think the car was just too damaged. He would have just been sitting in pit lane anyway on the damaged clock. So that was the last, the 5th retirement of the race, unfortunately. But at least for the remainder of the 6 drivers, you're just bringing home now. There's no point in pushing it to the absolute limit unless you're going to throw something out there and try to take away the fastest lap, let's say from MDW, which is to give you a little bit of bragging rights at the end. But yeah, just bring it home. Just tap it home, as I like to say. Well, as Happy Gilmore
tap it in. Just tap it in. Yeah, sounded like Chubbs.
Yeah,
Chubbs. Carl Weathers or Apollo Creed. I guess that would be the name that I would end up going with on that. But Randy Nichols has cut this sucker down to about 8 seconds. And you got about 5 minutes left in the race. So, I mean, I will say this. I mean, he literally give it his damnedest effort, but it just did not play out for him here tonight. But he's still not that bad of a spot right here. We'll see what happens. I mean, he actually, somehow or another, he gained about 3 or 4 tenths right there in that bus stop and still gated. So Jackson Wade may want to figure something out right here. I mean, granted, is time on Randy Nichols' side? no, it's not on his side, but he is certainly making Jackson Wade look at that interval big time. As you see right there, Randy Nichols' last lap was his fastest lap of the race.
Yeah. The only thing you got to be really careful with now is when you are pushing, you don't want to go off track because you don't know if these drivers are on their limit as well too, where they potentially get a black flag and that could be all over and done with. I'm just wondering too whether or not Jackson is actually just lifting off a little bit and coasting at home, not having to push it too much, knowing that there's not enough time for Randy, of course, unless Jackson makes a mistake. So very hard. If I was an engineer, once again, telling a driver to slow down, they could just see at the moment Randy in the background there. I'm telling a driver, just slow down now. It's yours, the P2. The only person right now that can take that position away from you would be yourself by making a mistake. So Randy's just, all he can do is really just chuck everything in kitchen sink and just go for it and try to pressure once again Jackson Wade into a mistake. But one person that's from the Mission 1 Esports that can handle all the pressure, including puddles, is the Rain Man, NVW.
That's a new one right there. Rain Man, Weather Man, MDW. He's got to have all kinds of nicknames for this is all said and done. Dean, I don't know if you forgot, but you might want to send Josh back down there to the Blue Lights Racing.
It's actually been interested listening to you guys while we're on the track.
He has been up here listening to us the whole time, sitting back down there.
You do that, you see, so I'm not used to it. Okay, fine.
Well, I get that. Well, I don't. Yeah. Watch right here. Watch right here at the end of it. I'll end up being able to bring people up and down probably the last 3 minutes of this thing. Randy Nichols has got this down to 5.5 seconds. Starting to kind of close the gap. You see MDW right here. You got about 2 minutes coming up on it right here. 5.5 seconds. I think he's just going to run out of time unless Jackson Wade just absolutely blows it right here at the end of it. There you see Jackson Wade coming out of the International Horseshoe, and then there's Randy Nichols behind him. I mean, Jackson Wade's got to really screw it up right here and screw the pooch. But if he does it, I mean, he's going to end up getting seconds. Like you said, just take it easy. Just try to get around here and just take your time and just try to get to the end. I mean, that's all he's got to really worry about at this point. MDW, I mean, hell, he's been doing it all race long, and it's really paying off for him.
I'm just wondering if MDW is going to do anything magical here. This potentially could be the last lap and just go out there and try to get the fastest lap. Unless because the only thing right now is that if he really smashes his car up, he potentially could, he's a lap up on everything. But if he really smashes his car up, even with a tow, he may very well lose the pole position. But is he willing to try to beat the fastest lap, which I believe he has a 44.50. That's the best lap. Believe it or not, Randy's fastest lap was a 44.52. So Randy's only just a tad off it. Wonder if any of them here are going to go for the fastest lap on the last lap, essentially. Has that white flag come out yet? No? We might get one more.
Yeah, I think honestly, yeah, but I think Wood's probably going to get him one more lap here to get her done, if you want to put it that way. No, let's not get no copyright. Hell, we made it this far. Let's not get no copyright out of that. But Wood, I mean, he has literally been showcasing the talent here tonight. I mean, he talked about it a while ago. We had him up here in the booth, during the race, in race commentary. And, obviously he sat there and said, he is good at these road courses, loves these road courses.
Second sector.
Fastest. He may be trying to go ahead and beat his own lap out of this bad boy. And, I mean, I think right now, he's just turning on the burners, knowing that it's down to the nitty gritty here at this point for MDW Matthew David Wood. Randy Nichols, his time has fell off drastically. He was starting to reel in Jackson Wade, but now it's already went from about 5.5 seconds all the way back to 7 seconds. So Randy Nichols, I think he's just going to be perfectly content with the podium finish and running P3 here tonight. MDW down the back chute. Honestly, Dave, I don't know if this is for the final lap right here, if he's coming around to take the white flag right here. This may be for the final lap. They're out of time, so MDW may be coming around. Yeah, he's blinking lights. I think, yeah, he's blinking lights. So, yeah, odds are it's probably done right here at this point. If not, he'll have one more lap to go around here at the Daytona Road Course. He's already went around here 84 times. And MDW, yeah, he's got this bad boy in the bag. He's already weaving around all over the place. Matthew David Wood wins the Florida Cabinet Distributors endurance race here tonight at Daytona. Blinking lights, weaving all over the place. Jackson Wade comes home second, 1 lap down. Everybody else was a lap down or more. And here comes Randy Nichols coming off of turn number 4. Actually, no, he's coming down the back chute. No, yes, he is. He's coming off turn 4. Randy Nichols, 69, comes home with the P3 here tonight. And Luke Smith, Kermit the Frog, P4, Buzzy Mongo will end up finishing in P5 here this evening. Luke Smith, he's still working his way through the infield, trying to get out there on the racetrack and be able to salvage and get the finish here tonight.
Yeah, and they're going to be very happy to see that checkered flag because I've been sitting in that cockpit, well, over 2.5 hours, remember, because they came off a practice session. Then they did a 15-minute qualifier, so they might have just had a quick second jump out of their rigs at the end of the qualifying before they jumped in for the race, but they'll still be sitting in a sweaty cockpit. Would you imagine the drivers have to jump into a sweaty seat, of course, if it's in a real car? Luckily, there's no, hot seat, what would you call it, hot cockpitting? Because, hot bunking that they do in, they used to do in submarines and stuff like that. But
look at this. Oh, wow. Jackson Wade, he was right there in the way. Luke Smith's still got to come around and try to finish. Suss is finished.
Yeah.
And everybody's just waiting on Kermit the Frog, Luke Smith, come through 3 and 4 and finish it up. And he'll get the P4 here tonight. But MDW got the win and literally put on a clinic here tonight. Is you see MDW, Kermit the Frog, Luke Smith now just coming across the line. And we'll see if MDW's got anything special for us, Dean. You talked about it a second ago. Is he going to have something special? Is he going to try to drive around backwards? Is he going to try to drift around the track? Or he's just going to park it right here on the front stretch? He's got to do something different. He's got to do something. I mean, you raced 2.5 hours. Yeah, there you go. Yes. Tokyo drift it, go right through the water puddles. That is how you do it right there. Started on the pole. Odds are led every single lap for 2.5 hours. Matthew David Wood, the weatherman, rain man. He gets the win, parks it right here on the front stretch. You see the race results right there on the left side of your screen. MDW, Jackson Wade, Randy Nichols, Luke Smith, Kermit the Frog, Buzzy Mongo, the top 5, Joshua Suss, Roger Diebold, Adam Newton, Cody Knight, Shane Scott, the top 10, with Adam Lichty finishing P11 here tonight. Well, folks, we're going to round up these podium finishers.
Just waiting for Randy for a photo finish here. If we can get him.
Oh, okay.
Because that's what it looks like. There's Jackson Wade there. Just need one more.
Where's he going? Where's he going? He's way back there.
He's got to chuck a Yui there, Randy. Is he coming back around?
I have no idea.
Looks
nope.
Looked
like he was going up. There he's coming back. He's coming back.
Yeah. What's he doing? He's turning around, I think. I just want to see this to be a photo finish. Why not? I mean, come on. You've done a couple of hours.
Yeah, why not? Yeah, why not? Heck, we've been here for 2.5 hours. Why not? Let's go ahead. Let's get us a good photo finish out of all of it. If I was Randy Nichols, I'd pull just a little bit ahead of Jackson Wade.
Oh.
Just for the heck of it, I would. Just to get a little bit extra beef out of it. But he's not going to do it. He ain't going to do it. I don't blame him one bit. I wouldn't do it neither. Your podium finishers right there live on your screen. MDW, Jackson Wade, Randy Nichols. Talk to those drivers here in just a little bit. We're back here in just a minute from the Florida Cabinet Distributors endurance race at Daytona. We're back here shortly.
Craftsmanship that lasts a lifetime is Florida Cabinet Distributors. With over 20 years in business and 39 years of woodmaking experience, they proudly serve Northeast Florida to Southeast Georgia, delivering custom woodwork that combines precision, beauty, and durability. Whether you're dreaming of a custom kitchen, bathroom vanity, fireplace and mantel, entertainment center, outdoor kitchen, or even a full library, we can build it at Florida Cabinet Distributors, exactly the way that you envision. Hey, no project is too big or too small. If it's made of wood, Florida Cabinet Distributors can make it. Call or text Steve today. Yes, they gave us his personal cell number, 904-874-3442. That's 904-874-3442 to book today. Florida Cabinet Distributors, craftsmanship that lasts a lifetime.
We're back here at Daytona. Florida Cabinet Distributors endurance race in the books. And I honestly, I've talked about Jeff Merck being the man, the myth, the legend. Honestly, I think MDW may end up taking that role before it's all said and done. Matthew David Wood, the weatherman, Rain Man, as Dean just said a second ago. Buddy, congratulations on the win. Tell us about your race, because to be honest with you, you started on the pole, you gassed up, you took the lead in turn one, and to be honest with you, you was a party pooper all night long. But you're taking the race tonight.
Yeah, hopefully, it was definitely fun, but hopefully we can get this into a bigger thing, and we're gonna have a lot more drivers the next time. I'm just hoping, I can get some more people in here if we do this again, and I know a lot of people, and honestly, tonight was extremely fun just being in the chat with everybody. And I had a couple of scares at one point, but I'll tell you, Jackson was very quick. And I think if the track was dry, I think we would have had a very, very much closer race, I think, at the front. But at the beginning there, where you're having to run all those different lines because of the wet track, I think it was definitely an interesting one, especially at the beginning. But I think after it was all said and done, he was decently keeping up with me actually in the dry. So I'm just curious to see how that would have went, and if we do this again, how competitive it actually will be, because I think it will be very competitive.
Man, I'll ask you two questions. Obviously, I'll give you the orders for the two questions, for getting the win. But obviously, Matt, obviously this was a fun race. Obviously, there was no points involved in it. Obviously, concerns the Police Survivors Truck Series off this Friday night for Halloween and everything. So basically, this was like a bye week for you. But what do these fun races mean, for you in general, because every single week it is grinding, it is go at it for the points, you're serious all the time. What's these fun races mean for you to kind of just let loose and just kind of let it all hang out and just have a little fun with everybody?
Yeah, it's really fun. My goodness, that was so close. I thought he was gonna hit me. Yeah, that was so close. He spun it in the kink and almost absolutely killed me. But it's fun, right? On Friday nights I'm having to push and think of all of this about strategy, and with road racing, I don't really have to do that. I'm just on road. I can let the car hang. I can do what I need to do, and it's a lot of fun to me, especially in GT3 cars. I've won a lot of special events in GT3, and I think just have a fun race with these guys, with you guys broadcasting. I think it's refreshing, really. It is.
I will say this about screwing the pooch. How in the hell did we not catch that right there on the first lap, Dean? I have no idea how we missed that right there. I have no idea how we missed that, but that right there could have been detrimental to you to even winning this race. But Matt, buddy, congratulations on the win. Appreciate your time. And as always, before we let you go, thank your sponsors and these shout outs.
Well, of course, I like to shout out everybody for putting this on, Cody and Josh, and they were. This was fun. I think they did a good job on this, and for what it was, and got to thank Outlier for helping me, of course, all this time, and everybody who supports NASRA, and got to thank the Lord for what He's done for me and for what He always will, and hopefully I can help in some way with the Jamaican relief efforts after their horrific hurricane that they've just went through. I'm all about, looking at the weather and being all that, but when it comes down to it, to me, it's not about seeking thrill. It's about, because if you're going to be a storm chaser, you're the first man on the scene. And for those people, they're going to need all the help that they can get. And that's what it's about for me, is if I can get that information out to more people, then I don't know who it's going to impact, but you know, it's a terrible, terrible time up there. They need our prayers, and they need a lot of help, because I think it's going to last them for a very long time.
Absolutely. Matthew David Wood gets the win here tonight after 2.5 hours of a long one here tonight, a wet one, and however you want to look at it. Matt, buddy, appreciate your time. Congratulations on the win, and enjoy the off week.
Thank you, buddy.
That was Matthew David Wood, comes home with the win here tonight. We was going to go with our second place finisher, Jackson Wade. He was up here, and then he finally, I don't know where he went. He just left. So it is what it is. Yeah. Randy, I guess you get 2 questions now since Jackson kind of hightailed it, I guess. But Randy, well, actually, no, never mind. He jumped in the waiting room, so you only get 1 question, I guess. But we'll go ahead and get you, well, screw it. We'll get 2 questions. Why not? We've been here this long. We'll go ahead and ask you 2. Randy, you come home third here tonight. First of all, congratulations on that. Did you feel like maybe you had a shot at trying to catch Jackson right there to get that second spot?
Yeah, I feel like I did. I short fueled it, I guess, just 1 lap too short. And, yeah, I just had to kind of coast it as much as I could on that last lap, to make it home. But yeah, I felt like once I got to like 6 or 7 minutes left, I was like, okay, now we're finally cooking. Now I finally figured out after 2.5 hours how to figure out how to drive that car, I guess. But yeah, I mean, it was going to be interesting. I don't think I was really going to get to him realistically, but I mean, who knows what could have happened there on that last lap if I got a little bit closer. But yeah, that was getting interesting right there.
I mean, and Randy, you know, we saw right there at the start, obviously with all the puddles and everything else, is we're fixing to see somebody completely blow it right here. Matter of fact, oh, good Lord, that was you that done it. That was you. I did not know that. Check out this ride. Dukes of Hazzarding it through here. Almost cleaned out MDW Matthew David Wood. I mean, you were literally, look at this, inches. Oh. Wow.
Man, it was crazy. It was crazy. I mean, you go into the kink right there, you got cold tires, and it's just, you feel the right. I mean, it's like we talked about before after my win at Kansas. I was like, this is a GT3 car on ovals. Like, it's the same thing with this. Like, you feel that rear end kind of step out and you go to catch it, and it's like, oh no, the fronts are going to hook up right when you try to catch it. And yeah, there was no puddle I hit or anything. It was literally just cold tires. And yeah, it's an embarrassing mistake, but at least it looked cool.
Yeah, I mean, it give us something right there to talk about, and it's like I said. I mean, unfortunately for me and Dean, we didn't even catch it at the start of it. I have no idea how we missed it. But what I was going to ask you about the puddles and everything else that or that y'all had to experience here tonight. Do you feel like maybe that the puddles and how the track was and everything, that maybe it was an equalizer to a certain extent from some guys that are pretty good on road courses that might not be, because everybody had an issue. Every single driver had an issue trying to get around this place, and a lot of them had issues trying to get on pit road.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely think that it helped with a lot of us, like normal Joes that don't really do this a whole lot, that's, you know, primarily oval racing and everything. Because I mean, I don't run this that often, like, you know, in the rain and everything. So it's like, I'm kind of figuring it out as the race progresses. And then people like Matthew, I mean, obviously he's really talented. You know, he's got it figured out. So it's just kind of like, which one of us is going to screw up the least? It feels like. But I mean, it makes it interesting because, you know, there was, when I got it, you know, when I almost, or when I spun almost when I was racing Jackson there, I mean, it was literally, I tried to kind of go below him into one, and it was still a little wet. So, you know, you could feel the fronts kind of go away from you, and then trying to catch it, you hit another puddle going on the out, you know, to the outside of him. And it's just, it's really sketchy, but I mean, it definitely makes for some exciting racing sometimes, but unfortunately you kind of clean some guys out too on the back end or on the bad side of it.
Well, Randy Nichols, you come home third here tonight, buddy. Congratulations on the podium finish. Appreciate your time. And as always, thank your sponsors and these shout outs.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, big shout out to you guys for putting on this race. I mean, only with 11 of us coming out tonight. I mean, obviously, it wasn't too exciting to watch, but I mean, obviously, still thank you. I mean, the broadcast always looked great, but thanks to my girlfriend, she watched the entire time, or watched when she could. So huge shout out to her for sticking it out, and then just everybody.
Or
that tuned
she
in.
watched all of it.
Oh no! I mean, she was texting me like as soon as I finished. She was like asking like, "Hey, congratulations, baby! Like, how do you feel with your third place?" I'm like, "Well, I wrecked way too many times, but I'm happy." So, but yeah, big shout out to her for real for tuning in every week to watch multiple races. So.
Oh Lord, if that would have been my wife, she might have saw the start, and then afterwards she would have been like, "How'd you finish?" That is exactly how mine would have went. But
yeah,
Randy, buddy, congratulations, buddy. Appreciate your time, and we'll see you next time the NASRA Cup Series gets back at it.
Yes, sir. Sounds good. Thanks, guys.
That was Randy Nichols, comes home P3 here tonight. Now we'll go to second place finisher Jackson Wade. Jackson, buddy. Whoo, boy, that was a long one out there here tonight in Daytona. Tell us about it.
Yeah, I mean, I'm beat. I'm so tired. It was a lot of fun. But man, I didn't have anybody in the Discord with me, and so it was a whole lot of mental and physical challenge. Just getting through that race without having anybody but yourself to keep you company. It was definitely a challenge.
Yeah, I mean, obviously that was the challenge, and I asked you the same thing I asked Randy about the track and everything, with the track conditions and how wet it was and everything else. Do you feel like maybe that was the great equalizer to where there is some, guys that are pretty damn good at this road course stuff, but then when you get to that wet spots, I mean, it's that unpredictability kind of equalizes the field out a little bit?
I think that it definitely has the potential to do so, and with a group of guys like this, I think that we saw like all kinds of the spectrum there. I think there was definitely Matt had it figured out in both ways, wet and dry. I mean, the pace he had was just crazy, so props to him. But then you had people like me who you saw towards the end of the race. I was running a couple tenths faster, a couple tenths slower, just trying to keep up with his pace. But then you put the wet tires on, or you put the water on the track with the dry tires, trying to find all the grip, and it really slows certain people down, and then certain people they figure it out, and so it balances out itself, but it definitely shakes up how the field looks.
Jackson Wade comes home with a P2 here tonight. Jackson, congratulations on the second place finish. Appreciate your time. And as always, thank your sponsors and shout outs.
Yeah, absolutely. No sponsors tonight, just here to have a good time, and thanks to you guys for putting up this race. It was a whole lot of fun. Thanks to my wife, always watching all the way through all these races and staying up to see me afterwards, and all things like that. And to my endurance team that I have, separate of all my NASCAR stuff, the boys at No Talent Motorsports, they know who they are. Always, tuning in to see how I do on the road stuff. So I'm just proud to have a team that's separate from NASCAR stuff, and to be able to do both sides. Just shout out to those guys too.
Jackson Wade comes home P2 here tonight. Jackson, congratulations on the finish, buddy. Appreciate your time.
Thanks, boys.
That was Jackson Wade comes home with the P2 here this evening. Well, Dade, whew, that's a long one right there. A long one, but I mean, you're used to the endurance races a little bit more than I guess you could say I am. But final thoughts on Daytona here tonight.
It was a lot of fun, Jacob. It really was, because it's a NASRA fun Florida Cabinet Distributors race.
Well, back to... Sorry, I'm playing with little sound effects there. Well, Cody's also shouted out there and said we're going to try and get this rolling to do a GT3 once a month. So this may not be the very end of the GT3s that you're going to see on the NASRA 360 Racing Network there, Jacob. But it was fun. It's unfortunate we couldn't get everybody to finish the race, even with we chucked a couple of fast repairs at them and stuff like that. But, once again, a lot of the drivers did comment to hey, this is the first time that they've slipped into these cars, and they've never turned a lap around here, just even purchased a car. And so good on them for giving it a shot because it's certainly not easy. I wouldn't be able to do it, Jacob. I don't think there's a ton of people out there that wouldn't be able to do it. But hats off to all the drivers that did attempt this, and of course, big congratulations to the drivers that did top 6 that finished the race. Unfortunately, just too much damage there for Diebold, Newton, Knott, Scotty, and Leachy. So there it is, Jacob.
Yeah, absolutely, boy. I'm telling you right now, I wouldn't have a shot with any of these guys. I wouldn't even made it as far as Adam Lichty did. Honestly, I mean, I might have went about 25 laps, and then I would have been absolutely screwed. I'd have been done for at that point. There you see the king of Talladega, little oval racing, super speedway racing. Obviously, there you see the dates right there. Thanksgiving week, get your turkey, get your pudding, get all that good stuff lined up. Your taters, your macaroni and cheese, get your stuffing, get the whole nine, your dressing, all the good stuff that we left for Turkey Murder Day. Get yourself lined up for that. Get yourself lined up for the week and sign up for the King of Talladega. C.O.P.S trucks, no fast repairs. Be a good one. Obviously, rebuys. Get yourself in there to be able to be the King of Talladega. $30 entry fee. Make sure you check it out and get yourself lined up to make it happen. Folks, I'm telling you, what a race here tonight. It was kind of a long one, but hey, that's what endurance races is. I mean, you got to run a little bit long. I'm happy that they actually had a little bit of water out there on the track. It made it for very entertaining. You didn't know what was going to happen one way or another with these guys. Everybody had issues, even that man right there blinking his lights and letting you know that the cops is sitting just right around the corner, MDW, Matthew David Wood. If you haven't yet, make sure you like and subscribe to the NASRA 360 Racing Network. Keep up with everything that's going on here in the North American Sim Racing Association. Obviously, Monday nights with the DSR Electric Truck Series, and coming up this weekend, or this Friday night, I should say, Concerns of Police Survivors Truck Series rolling on with season 11. But folks, that is going to do it for this broadcast. Got to thank all the great sponsors: Serve Pro, obviously Glass Mechanic, Premier Racing Setups, TLC, obviously Concerns of Police Survivors, as I mentioned a second ago. Can't forget about the title sponsor of all this, Florida Cabinet Distributors. Obviously they're the title sponsor of the Victory Circle and the endurance race here tonight. DSR Electric, obviously another great sponsor. Merch Magic Creations, Warrior Wraps, all the great sponsors here in NASRA. Got to give a shout out to the drivers. I mean, hell, there was 11 of them here tonight, but they made it entertaining as all get out. So thank you very much to the drivers and the fans for coming out in big old numbers each and every night, supporting this great league of the North American Sim Racing Association. Brady the Buff, Cody Knott, for allowing us to be ourselves. Got to give a shout out to Joshua Suss too. I mean, he was the one that, one of them that actually had this visioned up. Just got to give a shout out to Joshua Suss for also having, faith in me and Dean and all of us do this broadcast, put on a show for you, the fans. For the Australian Dean Optum Bengals, I'm the redneck announcer Jake Reeves. Said as I always say, be safe, be kind, be fast. MTW, the weatherman, wet spots out here at Daytona. He was able to get her done here tonight. Got the lead on the first turn. You saw it right there, and he led every friggin' lap. Comes home with a win here tonight for the very first endurance race here with NASRA. Florida Cabinet Distributors, endurance races in the books. But hey, GT3 coming back here very soon. We'll see what happens down the road. Good evening, folks.